Huge go here on track, the favourite. That's at this stage. We're still 8 minutes away. Let's go down the board for the feature, the Missile Stakes. The Centennial Park. 10 didn't take the 225, so I can't dive into 10 to 9 on, but wish him the best of luck. All the punters, I just can't take that price, but he's the one to run down Rain Affair.
For the MTA Missile Stakes, even money on the tote. It's missed the start, and here the Angels went straight up in the air, and he missed it by about 5 lengths. Rain Affair led, with Squamosa going up on the outside, so they're matching motors early on. And at the end of 200, Rain Affair now sped away from Squamosa, running to tack on after that poor start. So Rain Affair has been backed into odds on track, led by a couple of lengths Squamosa. A length on the outside, Winter King, followed by Neeson, Pinwheel saving ground on the fence. A length to Triple Elegance, followed by Centennial Park. Rain Affair's got most of these off the bit. And then Crikey, and here the Angels coming into the straight. Rain Affair nursed up the rise, led a length on Winter King on the outside. Squamosa's under the whip, Pinwheel going up on the fence, and then Neeson. Rain Affair in front, but Winter King comes up on the outside. And the acid test now for Rain Affair. It's Winter King. He looks to have taken the lead from Rain Affair, who tries to rally. Winter King and Rain Affair. Winter King and Rain Affair. Rain Affair's coming back at Winter King. They go stride for stride. I'll stay out of that. It's a real bob of the head. Winter King or Rain Affair. Pinwheel got third. Then about 6 lengths to Neeson, followed by Centennial Park. And then Crikey, Triple Elegance, Squamosa. And here the Angels has finished last of all.
Well, that is the archetypal head bobber, isn't it? Rain Affair.
Over the inside bob, but it's going to be very close. Winter King, Rain Affair. Winter King right now is where I thought it might have bobbed. Number 6, Rain Affair, 225 to 190. Pays $2.20 on the tote. If you don't mind, the Maxi Div. It certainly is. Joe Prop, we saw a different side of Rain Affair today. Today was the horse that the Adam would have been expecting to be the one they were coming at on the line. Johnny Story.
The Australian conquering Sepoy from the Darley stable is only 9 minutes away from reappearing here, and he carries the weight of expectation
around and looking a bit cultish here. But as soon as Kieran got on his back, he settled down a bit.
He's made good improvement with his break, but yeah, he looks as good as he did last time, and we know that that'll be.
Sepoy got a moderate beginning. Vatican was away very quickly, and Golden Archer began fast, and now Sepoy is driving up on the inside to nearly join these. They're being followed closely in the field by Snitsum, Grand Britannia, Awaken the Dragon, and 2 lengths away, More Awesome, Redangelo, and Delago's Lad. Sepoy's got up on the inside, and he has the lead slenderly. He's a neck in front. In second placing, Vatican, Golden Archer trapped out 3 wide. Grand Britannia fourth on the inside, followed Awaken the Dragon and Snitsum. 1.5 for Redangelo, and then More Awesome, and over on the inside is Delago's Lad. So Sepoy again being joined by Vatican on the outside. They go together. Golden Archer 3 deep. They're on the swing for home now. In behind them, Grand Britannia. And then Awaken the Dragon and Snitsum now. Sepoy coming down to the 200 metres. McAvoy just nursing him at the moment. He's 3/4. Golden Archer coming with his run. Vatican dropped off. Sepoy a length and a half. McAvoy's kidding to them. Nobody shakes him up, and a little bit of acceleration, and away goes Sepoy, and he wins by 3. And plenty left. Golden Archer second. Grand Britannia third. Delago's Lad ran on from last for 4, and then Vatican. In behind those to finish, Awaken the Dragon, Redangelo, Snitsum, and More Awesome, which just about describes the winner.
Correct, Greg. No Curse of the Golden Slipper winner this year. Just that last 200 metres was absolutely awesome by Sepoy, showing some quality. And good to see him back in that sort of dominating form. He's dominated.
He won by 2.5 with plenty up the sleeve by a half, 1:3.99. And there's your
order on him, but he put him to how he won today, just how I wanted to see him win.
Probably gone as good as you would have thought first up, but as good as he possibly could go first up.
Yeah, like he's been in work a while, and everyone was saying, he's been in too long. But for me, this horse just does so well on the paddock. He's a mature horse. He doesn't need time to develop. He's always been a ready-made deal, and he's been in work 3.5 months. But the first 2 or 3 weeks, he's just at the walk. He didn't know work at all. He's a lovely horse to have in the stable. He thrives on the stable.
It's brilliant to know. Looked like he was half waiting for them, but Kieran couldn't wait much longer.
It's arrogant, Bruce. It's arrogant. He's winning with ease. When you look at that race, he was never under pressure anywhere. He had his ears pricked. As soon as he put a length on him, he just pricked the ears and just idled down and still won by 3.5. Exciting horse.
Main goal of an awesome return by Sepoy. Dominant victory there yesterday. Margin set up for him with the slow first half and dashed home there. Not too many worries for the $1.26 Maxi Div Chance Golden Archer. Very good fighting Mellon. 3 wide down the 1 turn. Grand Britannia pulled up lame. Slightly lame. I think what you see is what you get. Bloody good horse.
Yeah, well, that's probably the simplest way to put it, Bruce. Half a second slower than Satin Shoes first 600. Still ran faster overall time than her. I mean, he did that all his 2-year-old season, the same scenario. He does it again. The other thing he did his whole 2-year-old season was run some of the fastest sectionals of the day. Not many 2-year-olds do that against older horses. He was doing it. He's turned up as a 3-year-old, done it again. 11.62 last 200. The fastest of the day was 11.5. So he's still good for his own age, and hopefully we get to see him against the open age now.
Well, that might be in the Makybe Stakes, Rich, but good to see a golden support.
Yeah, terrific win. He's a marvellous horse, and the way he goes about his work and just look at these. This is a characteristic of the horse here, where he cocks one ear, concentrating on the post, and one goes back, listening for something coming at him. He's done it a few times in races now. He's a unique little horse. That can go all the way if he's not there already. I'm just excited about his future. He does look a dead set sprinter, but there's nothing wrong with that. There's plenty of good sprint races around the world that he can attack, and Peter's just handled him beautifully.
Ahead of him as a 3-year-old. Geez, I think you'd be dodging him if you had a good sprinting 3-year-old.
I'm really excited about his future, and we can't.
Back yesterday, 5.50 in, more money this morning, and more money on track.
In about 40 minutes in race 5 today. Just if you want to compare times, it probably won't mean much by the end of the day, because you'll see the sectionals run by Sepoy were good. Mind you, compare them with the sectionals run by Testers.
Simply present. Gates are back and they're off at racing. Glissade jumped away okay. Urba fell a bit slow. Machine didn't jump brilliantly down on the inside. Satin Shoes got away well, and Leon Cedar away brilliantly. Settling its Glissade with Leon Cedar leading a length and a half to Satin Shoes third, and Metonymy last as Heaven's Choice. Less than 600 to go now. And Leon Cedar the leader almost a length. Glissade with the inside, and Satin Shoes poised on the outer. Metonymy trying to work clear. City of Songers around her, and then came Machine, who's come away from the rail. Further back is Cute Emily. So Leon Cedar with Glissade on the inside cornering. Joining them is Satin Shoes now, and they're being followed then by Machine starting to come home. And further back is City of Song. It's on the outside, Satin Shoes with Glissade coming back. Satin Shoes a neck in front of Glissade, and then Metonymy starting to finish hard. Satin Shoes in front. Metonymy's diving. Oh, close. Metonymy or Satin Shoes, I'm not sure. Machine did its best work late for third, I'd say, from Glissade on the rails. Raveel got home, and so did Irv Befell, followed in by Song of the Peter, who led them up, is last in. The inside will get it. Looks like Satin Shoes.
Well, that is close, Shane, isn't it? Satin Shoes look done.
In running, I said this filly wins is a good ride, because taught her to sort of settle a little bit and get the line. So that's pretty.
And lasting.
Correct, yeah. They went 34.7 first 600. Fair deal. Quicker, half a second. 3 lengths quicker than Sepoy's race. So she's held off Metonymy. A good win. She's actually, her record, if you delete 1200 metre runs, is excellent. Metonymy was very good considering on the track work show. Peter Moody said maybe she had the spell as well as some of the others. Glissade, bit of a forgive run, was pressured. And Song of the Bell, wide, no cover back in the field, ran terrific, I thought.
Like an out in Earth, the fella. Bossy was adjusting his stirrup irons as the gates opened. There's the margin. And Raveel, very good.
See her as a dominant filly for arguably probably should have beaten her. It got bailed up and headed into a traffic jam halfway down the straight. Only got clear here and did take a lot of ground off Satin Shoes. But, you know, when you've got a filly that is fast and good at the short trips, and you can place them and win a stakes race like that early, that's just good placement.
Yeah, certainly was. She's a sharp filly, and I agree. She looks a sprinter as well. But there's some great runs in that race. Metonymy was good. Machine was fantastic. There was a first starter there.
Yesterday, very exciting. Bell Sprinter. We probably came out post-race thinking a little bit differently than we did going in before it.
Dan Zardeman right from the yours away very quickly from out wide, and Utah Saints began fast, getting up on the inside, followed by Gold Salute, and back behind those is Stands Out. Settling though, Bell Sprinter runs to the lead now, at a length and a half clear from Gold Salute, who's up there with Utah Saints and Dan Zardeman out wide. Towards the turn followed Dr. Nip and Tuck, and then Bull Bars and Panopeka a fair way back, being followed Chasm and Journeyman and Two and Nudger and Dream Peddler. Coming around the turn, Bell Sprinter narrowly from Utah Saints on the outside. Rightfully Yours poised despite a wide run, and then came Gold Salute, followed by Swiss Rose. Down the outside, Eagle Falls. Bell Sprinter against the fence, the leader from Utah Saints. Rightfully Yours, one batting. Bell Sprinter the leader though. 100 metres to go. 2 lengths to Utah Saints. Stands Out getting home on the inside. Bell Sprinter's pretty good. Beaten, 1 by 3 easily. Utah Saints just from Stands Out the minors. Chasm got home.
Well, he just wants to run. Why not let him run? 4 out of 4 for him, Gareth. Can't get him to settle in behind him.
No, it seems an issue. If that's their only issue, it's not a bad one to have. Just Street's a pretty good field, and it didn't really have the weights in his favour, only getting 3.5 kilos off of group winners. So that's a terrific progression. Utah Saints Honour stands out sound.
Of the feature race, Group 2 PB Lawrence Stakes, and there's a tale to be told here, and it's in the betting ring. Here's the tote market for you. Who got you tote favourite at 220? We'll go to the other page here. Oh, there's
For the bottom one, Lights of Heaven. Now, this market has just turned totally on its ear here. This will be our fourth. We're going for our fourth sporting bet market mover winner here. Look at this. Who got you open $1.90? You can now get $2.60. Don't worry about all this stuff in the middle here. Let's get down to Lights of Heaven. It's been $2.40 into $1.90. So the race in two in the marketplace has become a race in one.
Well, he's the benchmark performer in this race, if not for weight for age horses in the country, right? Horse of Moody's, Lights of Heaven.
You know, all those reasons are probably irrelevant. Going back into 240, right the way down the bottom because there's nothing happening in between, and the Lights of Heaven goes back out to $1.95. So the early
in betting, we're at the 260, and the rally has come for him. But Lights of Heaven, as we've told you, is the sporting bet market mover.
Racing in the Lawrence. And Lights of Heaven, one of the first to bounce on the inside. Cellarmaster, Jungle Ruler immediately head her. Who Got You settles third last on the inside. After 200, Jungle Ruler the leader. Prince Obama comes across to sit second. A length away in third placing Lights of Heaven on the inside of Cellarmaster. Another length and a half away then came Time Matters. Vespers over on the inside when they go by the 1,000 metres. And on the outside is Miriam tracking 3 wide. 2 lengths further back is I'm Imposing. Who Got You buried away on the inside, and then came Budai second last with 800 left to go and Guest Wing. Jungle Ruler the leader up the side, a length and a half in front. Prince Obama and Lights of Heaven box seating just needs that little stroke of luck now. Cellarmaster her outside, and Miriam coming on very deep. Being tracked up by I'm Imposing, and then Time Matters. Vesper strung for a run. Who Got You's got away from the rail now, about 6 lengths away from the leader. And then Budai and Guest Wing. I'm Imposing on an early move out wide has raced up to tackle the leaders. Prince Obama and Jungle Ruler. Lights of Heaven's held up. She can't get clear. Is the gap opening? It's very, very narrow. She has to shoulder out. And Who Got You? He's got momentum now. Who Got You race to the lead out wide on the course. Lights of Heaven just got balked for a run. Prince Obama's boxing on. Who Got You clear. Lights of Heaven trying to wreck back. She's coming. Who Got You in front. Who Got You? A neck on Lights of Heaven, who was unlucky. Prince Obama has run out of his skin third. Vesper got home 4, then Time Matters. Cellarmaster, Jungle Ruler, followed then by Guest Wing. Behind them, I'm Imposing and Murian.
Too much class here. Who Got You? Yes, you can argue Lights of Heaven was unlucky. She was good. She just had to wait on heels, but that was how Moody predicted the race would pan out. Oliver Smart got the horse out running lane here.
Sammy, he is a star, this horse. And I mean, times he's been beaten in this type of race, it's always been by the A-grader, but probably the best around. So he deserved the win. He was a
forward to.
Yeah, there's a fair bit of improvement in him too, so I'm pretty excited.
Watching the race, were you happy?
Here they are now. 250, price, 110. 250, 110. 120 Lights of Heaven, 810 for
He Got Your wins for the first time, first up since his first start in the race. He was first for the 10th time in his career. From 28 starts, he's won 3.3 million. The winner yesterday, Prince Obama. Prince Obama, 3 and 3rd. Now, there's interference, and it referring interference to Time Matters there on the outside. But Gav, you went in thinking that he was fat, as you say. What do you do coming out of it? What's your perspective on the race coming out of it?
Oh, well, he puffed up pretty big over the back and the rump and that. So, you know, he's pulled up well enough this morning. We'll still wait the month and go to the data at Moonee Valley.
Is the month lucky she was? Your horse, he's done it before, hasn't he? Hits the front, just waits for her a little bit, doesn't he?
Yeah, that's right. Look, I mean, they said that she was unlucky, and she did get some interference, no doubt about that. But I don't think that would have changed the result.
But I think
he would have blew the field away. He's found a year now that I think lacks a lot of depth. I don't think I can tell that Duncan Grimley from John Singer, his racing manager, told me the other night, more Joyous won't be going there. There's more hope of me running in the tree this year.
Here's the Caulfield Cup market. There might be a horse here we need to find. There it is, December Draw, trained by M. Kavanagh. Lights of Heaven favourite there. Again, that's just a reference for you at this stage of the season. That's the Caulfield Cup. Lights of Heaven favourite. Co won this morning in America. Won the Arlington Million. Possibility of coming here. And there's the Melbourne Cup. Where's December Draw there? $19. What's your wrap on this horse, December Draw, as emerged?
The proven Group 1 fresh horse. I know he doesn't win often first up, but he's produced some amazing performances. He found his right race there yesterday. They've been an amazing price. I think Oliver seized the opportunity there. Look, this horse has got a devastating 400-metre sprint, and Ollie used it a bit early because he saw Lights of Heaven in trouble. So he put the issue beyond doubt there, and he just sort of was up and down a little in the one spot where she was getting held up. Boy, she lost no admirers though, Richard. She lost no admirers at all, Lights of Heaven.
She went to the line as well as he did. He was switching off, but she did
Was
lift
he
over
switching
last.
off, or had he had enough?
Well, he might have a little bit of both, but he does switch off a little bit. You know, he has a habit of doing that when he gets to the front. He likes to chase. But Damien Oliver ought to get Michelle.
Stakes market. This is a beauty. Have a look at that. Anything on that page has got a chance, and probably everything else has too. Let's go to the mounting because this is.
You know, the saddle cloths and the rest of it. So, yeah, it'll be great.
Yeah, I'm just talking to sponsors. So well done to Highland Race Colours and well done to
Now they're ready. Fox Racing, Midsummer Music got a good getaway. Parables a touch slow. Specific got away quickly. Anabar's Legacy away with a flyer. Southern Speed goes back. Settling down after 150. Anabar's Legacy came right across from the outside and lead. Simply put, Specific stick in the middle and Venus World out wider. A length and a half to Parables, Do Re Mi. Southern Speed a half length away, getting up on the inside of these. And then Brazilian Pulse and Pinka Pinka. And Lady Lynette last of all. Anabar's Legacy at the 500. A neck in front of Simply Put, I'm Discreet, a length and a half away. Rue Maple fourth, the fence, Sturridge as hell, hard ridden, and then came Specific, RV Innes, Midsummer Music and Venus World, and then Do Re Mi, hard ridden, and Parables. Anabar's Legacy, the leader from Simply Put with 300 metres to go. Rue Maple coming home on the inside, then Star of Giselle, Midsummer Music and Specific next. Anabar's Legacy, 150 to go, a length and a half on Rue Maple. Midsummer Music starting to scorch up the middle of the track. Midsummer Music race to the lead. Pickles comes home late. Midsummer Music beat Parables. Anabar's Legacy held third. Venus World got home, Pinka Pinka likewise. Lady Lynette out wide finished off, and then came Rue Maple, Star of Giselle behind them. Southern's
very fit, emerging through winter mare, Midsummer Music, the winning trainer. Peter Birdie, Group 3 was a Bletchingley Stakes winning last time, beating Rue Maple. This is a good wants Flemington. But anyway, it's all by the by.
There were a few flops, even allowing for all that. Southern Speed, Do Re Mi, Brazilian Pulse, all weren't flash. Let's first up off the break though. Parables, as I say, real run of the day. Home 11.50, last 200 and held up just for about 50 metres too long. Clearly should have won the race, but that's taking it's not taking anything away from the win. Who could be unbeaten this trip with even luck.
Yeah, winners find one.
In time where the winner got the fly on her, so you could make a little case that she was a touch unlucky. Good runs in the race, Pinka Pinka and Lady Lynette first up. A couple of ordinary runs first up too.
Still the feature race, the Group 3 San Domenico Stakes for the 3-year-olds is the next race on the program. Some really nice horses in the yard for this, including the favourite Fox Wedge. He looks magnificent. Satin shoes in the Quizette in Melbourne. Richie,
it's into $1.95.
Yes, he'll be pretty hard to beat, Caroline. He's into the red. And Boys on Tour missed the start. Karuta Queen and Fox Wedge came out of the stalls running, and they pair off in front early. Defiant Dame rolling forward on the outside. Then knocks away last of all. So Karuta Queen in front and stretching it lead as they come around the home turn. About 2.5 to 3 in front of Defiant Dame. Fox Wedge on the inside is starting to run on now, and then came on the outside Hollywood, running down towards the 300 metres. Karuta Queen in front. Fox Wedge coming around the tails now, going after it, and then down the outside Defiant Dame. But Fox Wedge moved up to Karuta Queen, quickly took over and raced away. Now Knees is starting to chase hard right down the outside. Fox Wedge in front, led by over a length, and it will hang on and win the San Domenico. It's Fox Wedge winning it from a Knees and Karuta Queen. And then Hollywood, Boys on Tour, Defiant Dame, and last in was Fontalina.
Oh, he's pretty smart, isn't he? Number 2, Fox Wedge. He was full of running on the Group 3 winner now, Fox Wedge. Started at $1.95 on course. He came in from $2.20.
A very good return by Fox Wedge. Outstanding run. Nice, given the pattern of the day there at Rose Baton. He spent $925,000 on Fox Wedge. He spent $700 on Satin Shoes. That's $1.625 million. He won $130,000 yesterday. Well done.
It's a good effort, isn't it? Look, Fox Wedge, terrific. Been working the house down at Track Spires. Tallis comes out and wins, and East was excellent. Interesting you touched on the track pattern. I think we can overreact a bit. I was interested to get Mark's thoughts here. Mark, how did you rate the track yesterday? A couple of
this horse, he's got a beautiful pedigree, being by Fastnet Rock out of a fast American family. If he wins a group race, he's worth a lot of money. And look, good luck to the Batemans. They've invested heavily, and it looks like they're going to get their money back and maybe cash in a little bit more if he can win a group race. He's a good colt. Lovely ride from a tricky draw from Rawilla to put him in that spot following Karuta Queen, and he was always going to get out when she kicked. In saying that, this horse, Nice, gave away an impossible start, and considering the circumstances on the day, where it was hard to make ground from the back, hers was the run of the day without a doubt.
Point out something. She changed stride just there. And when she changed stride, she made up many, many lengths on Foxwedge. He might have been getting a little tired. He's a little new in his preparation, but I don't think she quite liked the track. And I want to see her on some nice firm going before I think she'll produce her best. I thought she was just all at
this ride and this horse, Black and Bent, last Sunday in the Grand National Hurdle, and we'll see the horse again next Sunday at Sandown.
Hard and Black and Bent has sailed into the lead. And this trio are well clear from famous Prince Fergus Makybe as they swing for home now. And the champion of Jups Racing is the leader with one to get over in the National. Black and Bent by 3 lengths now, Desert Master. Similar margin, Catch Fun, and then Famous Prince. But Black and Bent comes to the 12th. The last jump in the Grand National Hurdle. Over it he goes with a beauty. 5 lengths clear and he's got it won. Desert Master second. Catch Fun and Famous Prince are in a dispute for third, but Black and Bent, look at him go. What a champion he is. 69 kilos, and he's going to deliver for Steve Pateman a fine Grand National Hurdle. Black and Bent won it by 10 lengths.
Very good field contested the Penny Edition Stakes at listed level yesterday at Morfettville. Let's have a look at the outcome.
Followed by Spacecraft on the rails. A length and a half Exalted Brother from Magical Pearl Gleneurs. Then came Foxham from Elko Pop, and 3 last of all is Lala Rook Dusty Star. Kicked through and kicked clear at the 500. In the Penny Edition, leads by a length and a half. Second is Glaze. Spacecraft is sneaking along the rails from Rivers Lane. Gleneurs taking off around Exalted Brother from Magical Pearl. Then came Foxham. Elko Pop's tracked up, looking for a run. And then Lala Rook, they're in the straight at the 300. Dusty Star, the leader. No good thing because Gleneurs is descending upon them. Gleneurs race to the lead now. Spacecraft is second. Dusty Star battling. Then Magical Pearl. Elko Pop's running on nicely. It's Gleneurs the leader. Elko Pop on the outside's going to be a danger. Gleneurs. Elko Pop is lunging. Gleneurs. Elko Pop. Elko Pop got up and won. Elko Pop, big win. Beat Spacecraft ahead. Magical Pearl third.
Sort of coming good at the right time, and this year he seems to be back to his old self, sort of from probably a few years ago even. He's having a squeal and a buck and really fresh and just seems to be right on his game, and hopefully he can keep it. I mean, I wasn't expecting that sort of run today. I was expecting him to go well, but to make that sort of ground on the track when early in the day, it looked a bit leader bias, and sort of, I was really happy. And I mean, Troy did everything right on him as well. Sat there and the horse just travelled.
Second up, the now 7-year-old Elko Pop burst out of the ruck to take the Penny Edition.
Look, he might be better with these country cups over the spring carnival. I don't know whether I think his Melbourne Cup days are behind him now. 7-year-old, Melbourne Cup's not that easy to win in the modern day.
I tend to fully agree with you, Ronnie. Lovely to see the old horse back.
We've seen Dunn and Nolan dominate today, and the market will tell us there's going to be Nolan's race here with Hallowell Bell. $2 a tote, and pretty similar. In fact, exactly.
Yes, 8 into $6 on track, showing 7.10 and 1.90. Man. Off they go now. Hallowell Bell began very fast, and Kneeling jumped away okay, and driving through Queen of Roses. Also Secret Status, and they settle down together with Hallowell Bell improving. She's going up second and third out very wide. Kneeling just sits off them now. She's fourth along the rails. For leader is about a neck in front, Queen of Roses from Hallowell Bell, who'd got over from the outside stall. Kneeling right behind them, third on the inside. Followed Secret Status, and around them Triple Asset wide and running on. They're being followed then by Jessica Rose, and then coming on a Sweet Ella out wide, and Classic L held up. Around the turn, Queen of Roses leading narrowly. Hallowell Bell about to go for her, and she hits the lead at the turn, then Triple Asset. Here's Sweet Ella coming down the outside from Jessica Rose. Hallowell Bell the leader. Kneeling's got out from behind her. Hallowell Bell a length and a half. Kneeling starting to close. Hallowell Bell in trouble. Kneeling's driving at her. Kneeling nearly a dead heat. Hallowell Bell Kneeling. 2 lengths away. Classic L stormed through when she got clear to get third. And running on was our Miss Jones, not too far away.
The other way of 8, Kneeling here on the outside of Hallowell Bell. Off the back of it, just took a time to pick up. So we drive to the wire here, get the bob right on the line. Outside Kneeling, the beautiful looking filly by Costa de Lago.
Through when she got clear to get third.
Well, she paraded beautifully, and she looked the part of a $340,000 yearling that she was by Costa del Lago. We'll talk about the barriers. 275, 21341 were the winning barriers. You knew it was going to be favouring those horses again, so use it to your advantage.
It wasn't Pearl Harbor, was it? We all saw it coming with the rail at 5 metres. So punters just have to be aware that's the way the track plays. It's not a bias. It's just the nature of the track, the circumference. Horses that make ground coming to the turn, they all of a sudden you straighten up. You're 2 or 3 lengths further back than when you started. It's just the nature of the beast.
Makes crabs.
Gator, just quickly, just one of the emails I got from Right Up a Drain Pipe. Just wondering, do we ignore the form from Moonee Valley yesterday as it was as biased as any track I've seen in a long time? Well, I know you said that's what we're going to expect, but it does that's what the definition of bias is. If an 8 horse is drawn in particular barriers, that's a definition of bias.
Yeah, great call. I mean, we're looking to spot future winners on the show. That's what we want to do. Those horses that made ground down the outside, like Amiss Jones, and had good sectionals out in that worst part of the track, add 3 or 4 lengths onto their performance, and hopefully you can find some value winners that way.
Maiden going.
Something with these boys getting ready for the Crockett Stakes. A magnificent lineup of colts here. Physical specimens, but it's the motors that count. We'll get to that shortly. Let's have a look at the tote call for it, because many given a chance here. $5 a field all round. Nick and always comes up very tight in the tote, though.
Gee, there are, I mean, it's great looking colts in this race in the mounting. Look at, you could have 6 or 7 of them were outstanding.
It's on course, so they're right to go. And off they go now. And Hugel a little bit slow to move, and Zabillionaire slow out. Hotspin began fast and led by 2 lengths to first course. Armour Rock retaining his place down on the inside, and Secret Hills drives on to get up to second. Kid Kobe settled not far away. He's 5th within 3 of the leader at the first turn. Running tall on the fence, and then came Sabridge, followed by Secret Hills. Is charging into the bridle, leading with Hotspin on his inside. A length clear from first course. Right behind them, Armour Rock. A length and a half away, Kid Kobe running tall. Sabridge is out wider, and then came Nickanois. On the rails is Hugel. He's got nowhere to go, followed by the New Boy, and at the end is a Billionaire as they swing around the home turn, and don't mention the war. On the bend now, Hotspin on the inside. Can he run the 1200 out? Secret Hills niggled at second, and this gives Armour Rock the clear run. He gets off the leader's heels, and he's got his chance now, followed by Hugel. In the straight now, Armour Rock is racing out after Hotspin, who had a kick. Hotspin, but Armour Rock pounces on him. Good win this. It's Armour Rock beating Hotspin by a half length. Photo third. Secret Hills weakened. And don't mention the war. Didn't he get home? Followed by Hugel. A Billionaire made nice ground too. Then Nickanois Sabridge, first course.
Rocker comes off a Chuka maiden win to a stakes racing company in a hot one at that. The benefit of one alley here, favouring inside drawn horses, set off the back of the speed, which was just okay. 36 for Chuka maiden to a pretty hot listed race yesterday. Heap of good runs, heap of things to talk about from this race, but Armour Rock, 200,000.
Up to the outside, but put paid them pretty quickly. Of course, those on paces are in pretty good form coming in, those two. On pace trifecta, 1, 2, 3. But as I say, that's the way the track played. You had to be up in the lead or enjoying that rails trail to win. In fact, 5 of the 6 winners in those sprint races, Bruce. That was the key. Diamond
Speedy had a fitness edge, had his chance. There was a couple of good runs behind them. That was, don't mention the war, hit the line hard, the grey along the fence. But that's the key. This rail of 5 metres at Moonee Valley, it's not fair. It's not fair for Saturday class racing for big dollars, because if you're more than 2 off the fence, you got no hope. The 3 races we're showing you today was all barrier 1. It should be rail normal on Saturdays at Moonee Valley.
Fair call. I can't disagree with you on that, but there are
notes. 220. Nope, can't get it. In fact, it's been knocked off the perch even at odds on. It's listed by saying
It's an amazing fact, isn't it?
Yep.
It's amazing.
You go somewhere to thinking, oh, well, this will be a soft kill here.
And one of the landmark.
They're off and racing. Coolgrinder jumps okay. NZ Girl missed it by a length. 8 Bills, Morgan Dollar definitely ready. They're all the way quickly putting some pressure on the early part. It's 8 Bills wide out working, definitely ready immediately inside him. Morgan Dollar third, and he's holding onto the fence. Coolgrinder will finish up right behind the leader. So definitely ready has the lead. A length in front. 8 Bills is second. The land has moved up wider. Coolgrinder running up behind the leader, just needs some luck now. Then came Morgan Dollar, followed by Happy Angel, Lone Rock, NZ Girl. Definitely ready the leader, but the luck came, and Coolgrinder's immediately poised on his outside, took him as they cornered. Morgan Dollar ran on. Happy Angel coming through with a split, but Coolgrinder sprinted away. Got 3 lengths in front of Happy Angel, and Morgan Dollar, he'll run a place again, but Coolgrinder, too good, well ridden, bolted in. Coolgrinder by 2 1/4, Happy Angel. Morgan Dollar 3 lengths third, 8 Bills 4. Lone Rock was next over in company.
Definitely ready, but haven't the punters sorted this out? And that was absolutely painless to watch in 58-2. Cal Grinder. One alley, that's 3 winners in a row from the one alley, and it was a copycat from the previous 2, sitting off the back of the speed. The plate Angel choked down again, so was it flattering? I don't know. Probably not, because we're going to hear from Moody and Nola next, I think.
She'll come back here for the McEwen in a couple of weeks and then go to Manikato.
So taking on Group 1 company, she's worth a crack, and she likes the track here, and why not?
She's a Group 1 horse, so got to go to Group 1 races.
Now, you tell us pre-race you gave Luke a good spray for his ride on Hugel. He's bounced back here, hasn't he?
No credits there. I could have won on that one.
Yeah, I'm going to debate that. I don't know if it is. As good as she is, I don't know if she could pull his bucket ass around the course. So maybe back to Mansgrave with a penalty, perhaps.
She was good, though, wasn't she?
She's a superstar, I think. You know, look, she's. I know we're very early spring and we can't get carried away, but she's impressive in Adelaide, and I thought she was equally impressive then.
She probably to those outside the stable, she's snuck under the radar to some extent. She's got a good record, but Pete says Group 1, you say superstar. We've got to start believing what you're saying now.
Well, look, she was probably, in her 2-year-old year, she was probably the pick of ours, you know, and
she takes on Seat Boy.
For the up-and-coming stakes, the Group 3 race here over the 1,300 metres. And the favourite, number 3, Manawanui. We know that he's won 2 out of 3. He's been a good performer at the midweeks early on in his career. And
Fighting second behind Florentina last start at Rose Hill. Cathio back, and they're racing. Double Ranger towards the inside, away only fairly, and towards the outside. Win for Wilson, just about beat them out. D2 is hunts a couple of lengths to D2 as Double Ranger. Lower followed by Manawanui, about 4 or 5 off the speed, and there isn't a great deal of speed. Kutcher the inside, and Irish Times brings up the rear. 750 metres to go. Queenian is the front runner. It leads by about a length to Win for Wilson, the outside, then D2ers. Further back, Double Ranger, the inside from Manawanui, getting closer, stalking them. 2.5 to 3 off the speed now. Irish Time second last on the outside of Kutcher, who's under a bit of pressure now under Williams. Coming up to the corner at the 400 metres. Queenian held together. Manawanui sliding up on the outside. Lower followed by Win for Wilson. D2ers, Double Ranger towards the inner from Irish Times, but here's Manawanui sliding up on the outside of Queenian at the 200 metres, and it goes for home. Manawanui, in a blinking of an eye, puts up 3 legs and is going to come away and win this easily. It's Manawanui bolting in. Smart won it by 4 legs. Second Queenian, third D2ers. Fourth was Irish Times, followed by Win for Wilson, a gap to Double Ranger, and Kutcher, a long last.
Oh, he's lived up to the hype now. Manawanui, he is the winner of the up-and-coming for 2011. For Glenn Schofield and Ron Lehman, he's beaten number 1 Queenie and tried hard, but this horse just put an absolute space on the Manawanui. He has done that with ease, beating 1 Queenie and number 5 Detours, the filly, getting into third.
On his A grade, he's pretty good. Ronnie Lehman's on, he'll be your maxi, Dev. He was very well back late, $2.60 into $2.25. And he's got Oh Baby. Away he went. That's his 3rd win from 4 starts. He should be undefeated. Only bad luck has stopped that. But he was awesome today.
Gary Fennis, his read of the trip.
I was quietly confident, but I didn't think he would win as well as that. I was even trying to get Glenn to slow down a little bit towards the end.
He still looked a bit tubby before the race.
Likes a smart missile, aeronautical, helmet and co to measure up, but he looks as though he's got that scope to do so.
I think he has got that scope, but I want to wait back. I'll have a look at, say, the run for the Roses next week, and then I think the decision should be made whether we go towards the big race or not.
Ron, if you board, there's a report after the races yesterday that the owners were going to get your thoughts on whether they should pay the 50,000 late entry fee for the Golden Rose. What's your feelings on this horse?
So, I think it's pretty wise to probably put the nomination in.
Okay, so you're telling them to use the prize money from yesterday. Would you be happy to put your percentage in to help them pay for that 50,000?
Unfortunately, if they gave it back to you with the prize money, yeah.
It's like a sweepstakes. Richard here. I was watching a
based on the trial that he did the other morning, but
far they will go. But I tell you what, he looks a sprinter, and he looks, something that could be a real Caulfield Guineas horse.
I'm a little bit with Glenn. Why train a speed out of a horse like that? He's got relaxers, he's got acceleration, he can put paid to a field quickly. I'd suggest the likely options for him would be the Golden Rose, even though they've got to pay up the late entry fee of 50,000. and then the Caulfield Guinea.
Coming up, the Warwick Stakes. This is a Group 2 race with Group 1 performers engaged here. And, well, very open sort of a betting race. Richie, as we head down the board, and you can tell us what the latest is.
Yeah, very much so. An open race is the Makybe Saddlery Warwick Stakes. Number 1, the Pirano. Tried on Monday in the same trial as Four's Out My Lucky Day. Pinwheel's your favourite punters. 370. Was 370 to 350. Back to 370. It dominates the market. Gathering 15 into 14, 650, back in a half nut now to $6. Shoot off 26 into 21, starts me up. Hello, $26 into $17 for starts me up. Sacred Choice, after the money has come this week, is now $5 out to 6.
Trusting awaits its turn. Pinwheel, who is the horse that's ticking over. It's the race fit. Set, and they're racing. From the centre, I Love This City jumped away quite well. Hawk Island's drifting out to the tail of the field, and Black Piranha's only got a couple behind it, as you would expect. Towards the outside, Gathering is pushing forward with Trusting the inside. The two Patinack runners, Centennial Park just off the speed. Darts Me up the outside, followed by Shoot Off, I Love This City, Pinwheel. Sacred Choice, Einstein. The inside is Triple Elegance. 3 lengths to Hawk Island and Black Piranha last of all. Onto the course proper, 900 metres out, and it's Trusting on the inside of Gathering by a length and a half to Starts Me Up. 4th Centennial Park on the outside. I Love This City out wider, Shoot Off the rails. 2 lengths away, Sacred Choice, followed by Pinwheel, Triple Elegance, Einstein. A gap to Black Piranha, and Hawk Island is at the tail of the field, and the field would cover about 12 to 15. Approaching the home corner in the Warwick Stakes as they reach the 500 metres. Trusting on the inside of Gathering. Starts Me Up, peels out wider. I Love This City is sliding up. 2 lengths to Pinwheel, tracking I Love This City wherever it goes from Centennial Park. Sacred Choice and Black Piranha into the straight at the 300 metres. Trusting just in front, but I Love This City and Pinwheel are coming down the outside. Starts Me Up still there at the 200. Pinwheel and I Love This City. Pinwheel goes to the front. Claims I Love This City, Starts Me Up, but Pinwheel stretches away to win the Group 2. Pinwheel by a length and a half. Seconds close, I Love This City or Starts Me Up. Black Piranha doing a bit late, might have got the 4, Trusting not far away. There's a bit of an eye catcher. Hawk Island for later on, then Sacred Choice. Gathering Eyes.
He's very good, isn't he? Pinwheel, he takes out the Group 2 Warwick Stakes, the feature race here this afternoon. He's done that pretty easily. I Love This City back on his scale here. By Lonro, as I mentioned, the champion Australian stallion for Darley, of course, former Woodland stallion out of...
Well, just a case of the ever-reliable Darley homebred residual fitness, Pinwheel winning this year's Warwick's.
Okay, but I think the Sacred Choice is okay without the blinkers, but Pinwheel had residual fitness, loves to sting out of the track. I thought I Love This City's the one to follow. I thought he went super duper. He's had a setback. You can't have setbacks.
Were early or first up in their campaigns on a heavy track. At home here, he was just too good for him. Like, he's a listed type of horse who's just been placed to perfection throughout his career, and he gets away with a Group 2 here through just being Johnny on the spot. But
That's right too. But Joe. But I thought Trusting's run wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
If I can offer some opinion here, I think he's a horse that needs to go back down a couple of levels and just get his confidence up. He needs a couple of soft kills to get him winning again. He's been a long time since he...
Shining through for the Silver Shadow Stakes here for 2011. A great race for the fillies. So many Thousand Guineas winners, Oaks winners have come through this race and gone on through the Sydney Spring into the Melbourne Spring. There's Elite Falls on screen, and...
It's going to be a very good betting race, this, I think, by the time we get to the jump.
Number 3.5 ahead of Pain in the Glass, 3.6. Streamer. Stand by. Racing towards the inside. Investors ridden hard. Elle's Magic Miss began very cleanly with Helping Hand on the outside and Florentina not far away. After 200 metres, Helping Hand towards the middle of the track in front of Elle's Magic Miss. Then Florentina, Invest, Pain in the Glass out deeper on the course from Streamer beyond midfield. Then Elite Falls, Aerobatics and Shadow West at the tail of the field, only about 5 or 6 off the front runners. 700 metres out towards the inside, Elle's Magic Miss drove through and leads by a length and a quarter to Helping Hand. 2 lengths Florentina, Streamer on the inside as they approach the home corner of the 600 metres. Invest also in that group of horses, followed by Out Deeper, Pain in the Glass with 3 behind it. Elite Falls shoved along. followed by Shadow West and Aerobatics in a packing field. The fillies charge around the corner of the 400. Al's Magic Miss, about 5 horses off the inside running rail from Streamer, Helping Hand, Florentina the outside. Elite Falls is working through, and Pain in the Glass is launching down the centre at the 200. Al's Magic Miss in front by a length. Florentina, Streamer's lifting, and Pain in the Glass on the outside at the 100. Pain in the Glass takes the lead. 4 across the track. Pain in the Glass, Florentina. Pain in the Glass, or Florentina, but I think the outside Streamer, then Al's Magic Miss. A Gap Invest, followed by Elite Falls, Helping Hand, Aerobatics, Shadow West at the tail.
Thanks. Pain in the Glass, this lovely filly coming down the outside. What a run, Florentina. This lightly raced filly by Redute's Choice, just on the inside. That does.
Miss. A Gap Invest, followed by Elite Falls.
Craig Williams doing plenty of work for Pat Nack and gets the ride on this filly first up yesterday. All of them cost a stack for Nathan Tinkler, only 32.
She looked okay, Elite Falls. She probably improved with the run. There's not a lot between a number of these fillies. I think we're in for a cracking season with the flight stakes and then on to the 1,000 guineas. I think you're being a bit harsh on Streamer. I think she'll get over ground here, and I thought she was very solid to the line. I think just Pain in the Glass got in the right spot, the widest, and she just got the bob in. But I think we've got a good set of 3-year-old fillies coming through, and we should have some great racing over the next couple.
Other fillies there. Streamer, she'll definitely improve. Her run peaked here. She's just outside the lead here, and she's coming to win, but she knocks up. She looked above herself. Elite Falls should have done a little more. She handles the going, but you'd have to be a little forgiving under the circumstances yesterday. First up on a testing track with the top weight. But all in all, full marks to the winner.
I tend to agree. I just
The race in a few weeks' time. This is the latest market with TAB Sportsbet. We know next week we've got the Run to the Rose, where Smart Missile.
Wow, I thought it'd win, but hasn't this been a go? Preparation. 41 out to $51. Red Tracer, I said even money. I said it'll get to about $2.40. No weight punters, in to $1.90. Wow. Secret Admirer, $6 out to $7. Red Tracer, 1-800-00723. Very heavily back, Caroline, in the last is Red Tracer.
Yeah, minute to start time here.
There's She's a Rock Star coming in. Delzira, Jersey Lily, Mergelisa, Lass to get set, along with Red Tracer, Gerazana, and First Look. Set. Ready, and they're racing. Pretty good line. Krypton towards the middle, jumped away cleanly, but gets a snag after the start. Out wide, Delzira's pushing up with Miss Independent. Now She's a Rock Star, and Turnstile's also making a race of it. Miss Independent, 4th, Red Tracer, 5 from Jersey. First Look, Mergelisa, Last Secret Admirer, and Gerazana about 9 off the front runner, past the 600 metres. Delzira by a length and a quarter. Turnstile, She's a Rock Star. Red Tracer's getting a little bit closer from Miss Independent. First Look shoved along from Krypton. Jersey Lily with 3 behind it. Gerazana, Secret Admirer, and Mergelisa, Lass around the corner. Delzira cuts the corner, leads a length. Turnstile, She's a Rock Star, went wide, and here's Red Tracer between them. At the 200 metres, Red Tracer goes to the lead from Delzira. Gerazana late down the outside from Secret Admirer. Red Tracer, 100 metres to go in front of Secret Admirer, Gerazana. But it's Red Tracer, the final favourite, home. Tracer by a long neck, Secret Admirer. Gerazana for 4th, She's a Rock Star, or Delzira from First Look. Turn
to see Red Tracer back as a mare with Hugh Bowman on board. She is just too strong there for Chris Waller in the Jeff and Mary Grimmish colours. She is a very smart Red Tracer. As you mentioned, 10 starts, 6 wins, and 4 minor placings, never out of the money. This full sister to Shell Scrape, and Chris Waller's had a...
Alice cheered for Red Tracer. Graham Begg said that'll do me for Secret Admirer. Good race. Good horse the winner. Good horse the runner-up. That's probably the easiest way to look at it.
Who's now gone to stud, I think, at Wattle Grove, and I think he'll be a superstar at stud Shellscrape. But this mare, she's just an honest professional. She gets the job done. Secret Admirer, super duper, great return for her. Not many horses made up a lot of ground, and she really found the line, Mark.
Yeah, it was a great run. In fact, the first 3 over the line was certainly the standard.
Punters found her, and she looked the right one. Chris had her just right on the day. I think Huey summed it up pretty well there. I love the run of the second filly. I thought she was absolutely sensational, Secret Admirer, because she went to accelerate between the 300 and the 200. And then when she was tired, and you would think she'd just give up there and just plug to the line, she had the temerity to make another dash inside the 100 metres, which I think Red Tracer was just starting to weaken a little bit, but which flattered her a little bit, but it was a great run.
Both very good young mares. Red Tracer, a little bit like Pain in the Glass, that she's only small, but she's all heart. 6 wins and 4 placings from 10 starts says it all. Secret Admirer, boy, oh boy. Graham Begg would have slept well last night with I Love This City and Secret Admirer both running so well. So the future looks rosy for her. She looks back on track. That was a first run.
Is the favourite with Sporting Bet and most operators at this stage. Cox Plate Market has got Hoobie at $7. Lots of Heaven at 10. Now we're going to see quite a few of these next week, including Rekindle Interest, who, not sure if you saw the gallop yesterday at Mooney stage. And starting with the Caulfield Cup, the BMW Caulfield Cup, and it looks this way with Lots of Heaven to be determined which way she goes. December draw right up the top. I am thinking that the Cox Plate is the preferred target at this stage, but to be confirmed. And the Melbourne Cup market, of course, Nom's coming up September 1 for the Melbourne Cup. This is the all-in market at this stage. Most operators will refund your money if your horse isn't nominated, if you back one of these horses in the Melbourne Cup, which doesn't get nominated. Americane, who runs tonight, actually. A couple of these are running tonight. Americane, Manigault runs tonight, and Dunedin runs tonight in France. It's the Melbourne Cup market as we currently see it. Okay, don't forget some email.
Terrific lineup here for the 3-year-old males and a very relevant race for many of the features, including the Caulfield Guineas, and perhaps even better if you include
Golden Archer will run favourite ahead of Metonymy here, so again, it's Moody with first and second favourites, but as yet he has...
Metonymy out fairly well. Delago's Lad got away quickly, and so did Glissade, and Golden Archer began very fast from the outside. As they settle down now, and it's Golden Archer coming over to find the lead ahead of Glissade, and Vatican getting up along the inside into third. Satin Shoes wider with Metonymy, and there's only about a length over the top 5 there. 2 lengths in front from back behind those horses. Then Delago's Lad out very wide, followed by Arctic Command, who's racing a little bit erratically, and he's back there in company with Do You Think, Redangelo on the rails, and Cross of Gold out wide. So it's a bit messy sort of run race, and Golden Archer led from Metonymy. The Moody colours prominent before the turn. A length on Satin Shoes, third, Vatican the rail, and then came Glissade. Delago's Lad under some pressure, and they've tracked up then by Do You Think. On the swing for home, Golden Archer had a kick early in the straight, kicked out 2 lengths Metonymy, who couldn't respond for the time being. Vatican's over on the fence, then Satin Shoes, followed by Glissade. The rest aren't doing enough, but Golden Archer well clear. 100 to go by 3 lengths to Vatican, and a great wall with the Cross of Gold coming home well, but Golden Archer won it well. Cross of Gold second, ahead to Vatican, and close up as Delago's Lad and Do You Think. Metonymy didn't finish off.
Strikes back. Golden Archer for Peter Moody. Got it to 390. The first half of the race, jockeys looking to put their positions in place, and they couldn't work out where they wanted to.
Talk to the jockey and get Devil have a look at that New Zealand race.
So finally on the boards here, Luke, and I suppose if you get them a lot, right.
Is that straight to the front, 34.5, 3600, didn't walk through it, ran near 1.9 flat, good overall time, good little win. Cross of Gold, one of the better runs of the day for mine. Back and wide, really sizzled to the line, terrific run. That just needs further, I think. And Do You Think got on the wrong leg, the rider reported there, Bruce, and just knocked up a little bit late. But the fillies didn't quite measure up. We mentioned that going in last week, that Seapoy was doing the same thing to them last time, the girls, running slower, early sectionals and faster overall time. And the fillies, probably with excuses, didn't quite measure up.
Cross of Gold. He was the flashing light, as Ronnie says. He's worked his way home from the back there, and he only really got flying the last little bit. He's impressive, but he is jumping classes a lot. So does that give you any, reservations about the race, really?
No, how can you have reservations about the race? He's a star, the winner. He's won 6 from 9.
Yeah.
He's been competing at the top level all the way through. He's a multiple group and listed winner. You can't begrudge him the second horse because he's only had 1 start for 1 win leading into yesterday. The Cross of Gold was outstanding there. He was absolutely outstanding. He was 4 deep, no cover. He pretended he had cover coming to the turn, ducking in behind a couple. And then he come out and finished that race off.
Impressive.
He could well be a star. He's by Reduced choice.
Memsey Stakes, there's your market. Heart of Dreams is favourite. Let's go to the yard, and we'll come back and look at the betting market from 16. A Moment of Change, $18 ahead of Do You Think 21. Aeronautical. Who would have thought that?
Rage. Racing, Memsey. And Red Colossus got a good jump on the inside, and also Precedence. Rekindled Interest is right up there in the early part, and Herculean Prince was away well. As they settle into stride, and also showing some speed, Midas Touch, but Prince Obama went through and found the lead. Prince Obama from Herculean Prince caught wide, going on and running to the front. Midas Touch settling third by the 1,000. 2 lengths further back in the field is Rekindled Interest, followed then by Red Colossus. Heart of Dreams has got over into a good place outside of Precedence, and 2 lengths further back in the field then came King's Rose and then Shamrocker. A length and a half to Absolutely. A couple of lengths further back is Anna Cheever and Linton, and the Nudjuan is last of all. Herculean Prince led down the side, 3/4 Midas Touch. Over on the inside, Prince Obama, Rekindled Interest, Every Chance fourth, followed by Red Colossus, Heart of Dreams. 2 lengths away, Precedence, and then in the swing for home is King's Rose, and further back is Absolutely outside Shamrocker and Anna Cheever a good way from them, and then Linton and Nudjuan. Herculean Prince on the swing from Midas Touch. Heart of Dreams is very quickly on the scene on the outside, and King's Rose has peeled out wide. Rekindled Interest tried to go with Heart of Dreams. Heart of Dreams, and now King's Rose. King's Rose has raced up to Heart of Dreams. Rekindled Interest, and further back Red Colossus. It's King's Rose in front of Heart of Dreams. King's Rose ahead in front. Heart of Dreams kicks. King's Rose a half head. Heart of Dreams. They race very tight down the straight. Red Colossus or Rekindled Interest in a photo for third. Just off these Precedents. Absolutely getting home on the outside, and Linton. Then came Prince Obama, Herculean Prince, Midas Touch, followed in by Shamrocker and Nudjuan and Dana Cheever, one of the last home.
Who said Moody was having a dirty day? That's 3. That's not too shabby. And that's a great first up performance by King's Rose, and Nolan just stalking Oliver all through running there. Comes off Ollie's back. And King's Rose, her first start in Australia, a Group 2 winner, and a lot to look forward to from her. There'll be a heap of good run now if you've seen her do that.
I think she's a high quality mare, Bruce. You know, her work's been very good at home, and we've been very impressed with her. And the barrier, if she wants the mile and a quarter, or, you know, we can pick through these 7, you know, she could come back here in a few.
Well, terrific Australian debut by the former New Zealander, now with Peter Moody for Luke Nolan. Gun ride, stalking Ollie on the favourite Heart of Dreams. You'd be happy no matter what you had settled up there, coming out of it, heading towards spring.
Good call, Bruce. I think 13 runners, 13 connections. They wouldn't be upset with how their horse went. So I don't know what that tells you going forward, except the race is a terrific guide for the spring. As a rule, 7 Cox Plate winners come out of the race since the year 2000. 5 Melbourne Cup winners. 49-1 first 800, Bruce. Pretty moderate for this class of horse. And fastest late sectional home, Red Colossus, 11.2.
Yeah, but the rest were like King's Rose, 11.2 too.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Yeah, it wasn't a beauty contest, but she's all quality. She's a really, really good mare. Her record speaks for itself. That's a magnificent Australian debut to win that race first up. The spring looks rosy for her, I'd suggest. The favourite, Heart of Dreams, he just doesn't help himself in races. He gets aggressive and doesn't want to come back underneath a jockey, and more often than not goes against him. There was obvious good runs in the race. You know, you can tick off many, many runs in this race, so it's a hard race to assess. I thought Absolutely was pretty good there late.
Best of the rest, Absolutely, I
yeah,
think.
Yeah,
I think
was
all
good.
those stayers that sort of just worked along there, I think you just forget them till their next run. But I thought the winner, look, her form says you shouldn't be convinced beyond about 1,600 metres with her, but she does sort of grind away, which gives you the impression she might go a little bit further than she's indicated previously. But I would tend to think she's going to be out of
season now. 3-year-olds, including Smart Missile, 2 starts, 2 wins, looking to continue on that record. But I tell you what, he's got some good rivals, including Helmet, who's a dual Group 1 winner, and also Fox Wedge, who Richie has already had good support. Fox Wedge.
It certainly, Dean. It's a great race, this Ridges Parramatta Run to the Roads, of course. Great sponsors of You Better 6 to 1. Bank, we're ready to play. $7 into $6. Smart Missile, now out to 5 to 4 on. $1.80, $1.80 now. Best price it is after being heavily back during the week. It's now getting back out to $1.80. Now, Fox Wedge, $4.40. There was good support early. Into $4 to Smart Missile. Apparently too much money during the week. So it is a very heavily backed market mover. Number
first to move in. Ready. Racing. Smart Missile didn't jump all that well. He'll go back to last. Karuta Queen and Diamond of Pegasus began quickly. Fox Wedge tucking into third on the inside as they settle down from Boys on Tour. No early speed from Helmet. He's back 5th. Smart Missile going up on the outside, only a neck behind him. And Flight of Pegasus last of all. So the Flying Filly, Karuta Queen, booted away at the 800 and led by 2.5 lengths. Diamond of Pegasus next. Fox Wedge third on the inside. A half Boys on Tour, followed a couple of lengths away by Helmet. And then the Flight of Pegasus. And back last of all as they approach the turn was Smart Missile. He's giving the leaders about 7 or 8 lengths as they come for home, where Karuta Queen led. Diamond to Pegasus second. Fox Wedge comes off the inside and gets its chance, giving the leaders a couple of lengths start from Boys on Tour. And now Helmet and Smart Missile are coming right down the outside. Karuta Queen exploded away here at the top of the straight. She's giving them something to chase. Fox Wedge coming after it. Helmet and Smart Missile are starting to work home strongly. Karuta Queen in front. Fox Wedge is grabbing it. Here comes Smart Missile on the outside out after Fox Wedge. Smart Missile lunged and got up and won it. What a win. Smart Missile grabbed Fox Wedge right on the post. Helmet got third, and then Karuta Queen followed by in behind them Fly to Pegasus, Boys on Tour, and last in was Diamond to Pegasus.
What about that? That's out as you like. Number 2, Smart Missile. Geez, he was in trouble. The putters were having heart palpitations. Anthony Cummings and the owners. And look at Glenn Ross. Oh, he was wrapped. Why wouldn't you be? He's a good horse. Number 2, Smart Missile, blows them away late. It beats.
Very good. Amazing effort. Karuta Queen looked like she'd sort of stolen it. We were a bit jumped okay, but it was one of the things that might have had to happen to get back to last, and it was always going to be the tough way to win. But man, full credit to the horse, amazing animal.
Glenn Bosch just shook his head. I think when you finally got up.
Yeah, he's quite possibly one of the best horses I've probably ever thrown a leg over. Unbelievable what he done. He all he wanted to do was sit out the back there and relax, and he was. You've got to give him his credit. It's his third start in a race. He didn't know what to do, and when he got side of the bunny, I'd love to know what he run his last 100 metres in, because it was Usain Bolt time, I tell you. It was quite electric. And I just can't wait till he gets to a mile, because that's where he'll be in his backyard, right, when he gets to a mile. Best 3-year-old ever rode was Fastnet Rock, and this bloke's probably a bit better than he's got a bit more scope.
A little bit of trouble.
We find out how good he is, but
30, 180. Fox Wedge 210. Helmet no 30.
Also, when you shook your head, I thought that couldn't happen, but it did. When we look at this through the sectional time analysis, now we can't believe the times are right here, because we worked out, according to the official sectional times, he ran 10.99 from the 400 to 200, but 11.45 the last furlong. Surely not.
And Glenn's the man to ask is the man that was on board. And Glenn, you were saying that it can't be right, because you felt his last 100 was the best part of his race.
Oh, what he done between the 400 and the 200 was very, very good, just to get himself into contention. What he done from the 200 to the winning post was even quicker. So I've got him running about 10.5 from the 400 to 200. So he went quicker the last 4. I thought it was a great. I thought Helmet was very, very good yesterday. You just can't drop off this horse, because when he looked huge.
Gardens. We went there with anticipation.
Well, yesterday Foxwood was not stopping, and when I seen Foxwood in the enclosure, I knew that Johnny O'Shea had him pretty close to the mark, because he was going to improve off his first off run. And Foxwood was running to the line and through the line. That's what made this horse so impressive, because I wasn't picking up a horse who was stopping to make my horse look flattering. I was picking up a horse who was flying to the line, and I was actually going quicker. Corey Brown said there was no way that he was going to go quicker. Corey Brown said there was no way that he was going to get beat the 100. Absolutely no chance of getting beat. So that's the sign of what a very good horse can do. What's that? Worry good horse can do.
What's that? Worry about the opposition at all, Glenn?
Oh, of course. I think Helmet is probably the horse to come out of that race. I thought the horse to come out of that race, obviously the winner, but I thought Helmet, he's going to be very, very hard to beat.
And to pick them up and run a sectional like he did at last 400 metres was just an amazing achievement.
An outstanding colt. I think he's done a very, very good job yesterday. They seriously weren't comparing him to Makybe Diva, were they? I mean, really. I mean, he's got a long way to go. He's a very, very nice colt, and I'm a big rap for him. There were some other good.
Best 3-year-old ever rode was Fastnet Rock, and this bloke's probably a bit better than he's got a bit more scope.
Huge raps from highly experienced rider who's ridden some handy horses in his day. Smart Missile, the only colt in Australia to have defeated Sepoy so far, and he proved that performance was certainly no fluke.
He certainly did. That was a breathtaking win. A breathtaking win. He was going nowhere on the point of the turn. He ran from the 200 to the 100. He ran 10.5. He finished off in under 11. That was an amazing win. The sky's the limit. If there's a dampener on him, it's his gate speed. You're going to get a full field in the Golden Rose. If he shows speed like that out of the barrier, he's going to be back last with about 15 horses in front of him. I don't know whether I want to take two. He had every possible chance. This horse Helmet, he's a ripper. He's come back in. Don't begrudge him. His run was nearly as good as the winner. He paraded so much more mature horse physically. Mentally, I'm not so sure.
Mentally, he's a retard.
Yeah,
You
should know.
Tricks.
You should know.
He's got more tricks, and he's learning new ones.
Yeah.
He was ducking in there yesterday. If you have a look at some of his old performances,
Be in Melbourne. There's the Golden Rose Market, Smart Missile, Helmet, Fox Wedge. I can confirm this morning that they will pay the late entry fee for Manawanui as it stands right.
Flirter's not running. The rest are, and they're on their journey. And Fredema absolutely walked out. It will be Stone Motherless on settling down. Moment of Change. The odds-on favourite goes straight to the lead from Appeasing. Dyer's passed in third place. Is starting its run, but it's a clear conspicuous last up towards the turn. Meets riding confidently on the odds-on favourite. Moment of Change. It straightens up 3 in front of Appeasing. Then Dyer's pass. Great Dignity and Beware of Me are running on, and further back then to Fredema, but it's all Moment of Change. This is going to be a big, big day for Peter Moody. It's Moment of Change in front. It'll score by 10 lengths. Dyer's pass getting to second, but Moment of Change wins untouched by 12 over Dyer's pass. Great Dignity got third on the line, just in advance of Appeasing, and the best run outside the winner was, and it won't be the last time you see him in the winner's stall. Absolutely walked in. Number 12, Moment of Change. Linda Meach for Peter Moody. Should have went around $1.04, judging on that.
A couple of things there. 19.71, 0.01 outside the track record on debut. Gee, that $1.50 was good odds. Ran 2.39 quicker than the other maiden, ran 1.07 quicker than the 0 to 68, head on chest, into third favouritism now for the Caulfield Guineas.
Been racing a while. I remember one debutant breaking a track record at Swan Hill 100 years ago, but almost did it. And if Let Go breaks the track record on debut at the end of winter, Bruce, if you don't mind, surely that track's not in pristine nick. Outstanding.
Lossy, first look at it showed you from Matoa. Moment of Change into third favouritism there at 16 to 1. Smart Missile Helmet, favourites equal. Manawanui, what do they pay?
Matoa. Now, Peter told me this morning if there was a meeting at Cranbourne, they would have gone to Cranbourne. But here it is, jumping around the turn. Linda Meach just absolutely sitting there, runs away to win by near enough to 10 or 11 lengths. And it tightened up with a couple of sizable bets in most markets yesterday once people saw this win. Now, Peter Moody told me this morning the horse has always shown above average ability, is still very raw. We'll test the market next. We'll go to a listed race at Flemington, and that will decide whether we go to the Caulfield Guineas. So, boys, it's still...
Day says he's the real thing.
So we shouldn't be fooled by the remote location.
No, don't be fooled by that. I think he's pretty clever horse.
Master Power trying to keep him in a pocket. Jimmy Shoes a length of those. Lion Tamer his inside to St. Germain at the 600. And then booming down Jess Scarlet Lady's looking to take off. And Adam Catch the last. Flirting around the home corner from Mufasa, who's getting level as they turn. Fritzy Boy behind them. Kiwi Ladies angry now at Wall Street. Master Power on the outside's coming up to Mufasa. Jimmy Shoes. That's Mufasa clear in the lead. Jimmy Shoes about his scout wings. Third on the inside. But then there's 6.14 best sprinters ever. Mufasa beats Jimmy Shoe. Third alone. Dunno fourth all over the place. Lion Tamer, Scarlet Lady. Right. Best sprinters ever. Mufasa beats Jimmy Shoe. Third alone. Dunno fourth.
Well, Mufasa's obviously a lot better horse back home in New Zealand than what he's showing in Australia. He's most competitive here, but over there you see he's put in about 1-6 Group 1s there. Jimmy Chu, excellent. Given the pattern of the day, I think Scarlet Lady was satisfactory there. But Jimmy Chu's the key. Comes to Melbourne for the Cox Plate, possibly to Hong Kong and into stud. He wanted to be up there if you're going to win races there yesterday, David.
The other one you missed there, Bruce, Lion Tamer was good as well. So considering, as you say, the pattern of the day, they've run probably very well.
Wall Street down the track, a former Cox Plate contender this year. Well, you would have thought a big change to the market, wouldn't you, from yesterday with the Memsey, given the history of the Memsey, but it didn't really. Hoover got you and Lights of Heaven, the 1-2 home Frosty this morning, wasn't it, about Linton, who's into $18.
Looked next.
And Shamrock was up the top of the betting here with Lights of Heaven, Scarlet Lady, December Draw, and Malucky Day. We got a confirmation with Malucky Day.
Possibly, I think it was good news that, not saying that she's definitely going there, but they're just real.
Not pretty poorly by the same token too at good, but a big weight on wet ground and was beaten 12 lengths though.
Lots of heaven favourite at this stage from Shamrock, a December draw. We saw
Stakes in New Zealand yesterday. We look forward to seeing.
Over 30 Houlihan hurdle, over 3,400 metres, and the champ Black and Bent is the favourite. No surprises too at $1.10, coming off an emphatic and triumphant performance in the Grand National Hurdle at Sandown.
Who knows? The next time we see him at the races, he might well be preparing for the Melbourne Cup. That's the grand dream, and he's such a wonderful stayer. And I'm told that some of the assessors say he'd finish top 10 in the Melbourne Cup, and it would be no surprise. He's such a great galloper. He's won over $750,000 on the flat, and he's nearly won $500,000 over the jumps, and he'll do that today. About 5 lengths on our Chateau, 5 lengths Pateman riding it patiently on Black and Bent, 4 lengths further back then Half Moon Rising, Fergus Makybe Berlioz bringing up the rear. Back whence they started, 2 to get over, and Phase Action about a half a dozen lengths on our Chateau, and now Pateman livens Black and Bent up, and he's gone past our Chateau, and he's chasing down the leader. Second last one coming up now, Phase Action at the second last, nearly went. How he stayed, I don't know, but it's taken the wind from his sails, and Black and Bent and our Chateau claim him either side, with Black and Bent going to the lead. Half Moon Rising is starting to make a little bit of ground behind these, but it's Black and Bent with the one hurdle to get over in the Jim Houlihan, going up and taking the lead from our Chateau, and Pateman sitting quietly on him. Phase Action still there in third placing. Half Moon Rising boxing on down the outside. Here's the last one now. Pateman steadies Black and Bent at it. He's jumped it well, a length in front of our Chateau, who stayed on. Fall at the back. Fergus Makybe went down, so it'll be a battle for third between Half Moon Rising and Phase Action. But Black and Bent, under a tight rein, starts to sprint away from them, and he racks up $500,000 in hurdle earnings here with the Jim Houlihan win in a canter. A champion wins. Black and Bent by 7. Our Chateau stayed on really well second, and Half Moon Rising got third. Phase Action got around. He's run fourth. He's the last one to finish the race.
Greg Miles spot on there. A champion wins and does it in emphatic fashion in Black and Bent. $1
coming back in distance after going so well in the Derby, but I think he's a tough, versatile type horse.
The win pool here is 2.7 million on the local tote, and everything outside of Rocket Man is 999 and above, putting $500 on.
The place pools, Rocket Man's $5.10 as the favourite. Better be the one second favourite.
They're racing. Rocket Man away safely. Flying Fulton on the outside goes with him early on. Ditatore over on the fence. They were followed by Better Be the One. Then came Kappa. Rocket turns down the side as they come to the 700 metres mark. So it's Rocket Man extending, leads by a length and a quarter over Flying Fulton. Then Ditatore. Next of all is Better Be the One being chased along. New target to his outside, and Capablanca last of all. 500 metres to go, and Rocket Man comes to the 400 metres mark, and he's out by 3 lengths over Flying Fulton, being chased along in second, followed by Ditatore, then Better Be the One. Capablanca sneaking up on the fence, and a gap away then to New Target, but Rocket Man below the final 250. He's out by 3 lengths over Flying Fulton. Better Be the One begins to run on stoutly, followed by Ditatore and Capablanca, but he's untouchable again, Rocket Man. He's out by 4 lengths over Flying Fulton, and Better Be the One, and another one for the Rocket. Rocket Man wins it by 6. Second, Flying Fulton close for third. Better Be the One or close up Ditatore. They were followed after a gap by Capablanca. The old boy just couldn't stick with them today, and New Target last in. So Rocket Man cruises around. Vorster shook him up at Nakayama, and he's just blown him away again, as we expected. These horses just aren't in the same paragraph as this boy, and he's just bolted in. Very, very good run by Flying Fulton. He's untouchable, unbeaten, and 17 in total from 21 career starts. So well done to Rocket Man, Fred Cradier, and old now, so he's just turned 6, and that's been his 17th win from 21 starts. On the other occasions, he's been beaten less than a half length in second position for his 4 seconds. So 1, 4, 2,
it's
and
our feature races coming up. Race 4. This is the Concord Stakes, the Group 3 over 1,100 metres, and Richie Winter King is the favourite. Already good support on course.
Yeah, around the $4.40 mark.
Is about to move into barrier number 4. Zaratone jumped only fairly today, but now he's starting to muster speed quickly. He wasn't that flash out, but he's gone through to take up the running. And led from Obsequious, Winter King going along the rail from Prince Brayman, Decision Time next, and then Soldred hasn't crossed. Winter King's underneath it, running second, going back to third, Obsequious, and then Decision Time, followed by Motspur, Prince Brayman. Solders third last, about 7 off the lead. Monton and Egos Dow are at the head of the others as they approach the turn, and Zaratone led. Oh, Winter King got knocked down there. Zaratone seemed to crowd Winter King up as it went for an inside run, then Obsequious. Decision Time is starting to run on down the outside. It's Zaratone in front. Decision Time is starting to descend out wide. Winter King getting the rails run. It's Decision Time hitting the front from Winter King, who's tried to rally on the inside. Decision Time and also Winter King. Decision Time's got his head in front, and Decision Time will beat Winter King. Monton third. Then further back in fourth spot, we had Soul from Egos Dare, Zaratone. Then Motspur followed by
Corey Brown, a winning treble already, taking out one of the features. Corey Brown after winning.
Hey there, Corey.
Than I thought he was, but this bloke's a winner. He's won 8 from 13, and we underestimated him when he won his first 4.
Tattersalls Furious Stakes, of course, won in the last few years by horses such as More Strawberries, Melito, Samantha Miss, and here the favourite is Anise coming through that very.
where the speed's going to come from. Doesn't look to be a lot of speed on paper. One just throwing it. Now they're off and racing. And coming out quite well was Florentina. It took the early lead. Streamers rolling up on the outside. And Detours going along the fence, followed by Elite Falls, or settles on the back of the leaders in about 4th or 5th painter stride. And it's an absolute jog trot. As they run to the 1,000 metre mark, Florentina led by 3/4 a length on Streamer. Detours is third, last of all. Well, Florentina in front, Corey Brown rating this a treat, led by a half a length. Streamer on the outside. Detours is locked away behind them. Aerobatics on the outside with the white cap striding up into third, followed by Elite Falls. The favourite Anise about 3 lengths off the lead, but this will develop into a sprint home. And Pain in the Glass trying to get off the fence to improve. As they come into the straight, Florentina joined by Streamer. Detours came up underneath them, and then Elite Falls, followed down the outside by Anise, who's starting to run on. Florentina just led. Streamer on the outside, and then Detours. It's Florentina and Streamer. Streamer coming at Florentina. Streamer moved up to Florentina and Streamer. Streamer won it from Florentina. Detours got third. And then came Pain in the Glass. Wasn't a bad run because it was a sit and sprint. And then at the head of the others, Anise, followed by Elite Falls. And then Ice Baby. At the head of the others next we had.
You could see these filling.
Just forward to midfield and finish off with some good runs from back. And
Glass wasn't a bad run because it was a sit.
well, no, not only knocked the winner, she won. They ran 51.43 for the first 800. That might have been a different result, Rich, if that race had stayed at Randwick. Maxi did $5 for Streamer.
Yeah, it was farcical, and I know I got an email about it. I feel like a broken record. At Warwick Farm, the 1400, the 12, it's a straight run to the turn, and sometimes you get an even clip at best, but that was absolutely farcical. The back markers may as well stayed in their boxes at home. They zipped home in 33.63, as you said.
Old filly here. Oh no, he's a good size stratum. He's going to get bigger and better as the years go on too. Look, she's a good filly. She's a good filly. Don't worry. She's still not quite there yet, but fair income. This was an absolute farce. You see faster run barrier trials. You should have known the only 2 jockeys with any brains in this race were you should have looked at the best jockeys. You had Bowman and Brown. They dictated. They knew they had to go forward. The rest of them were just sitting there like stunned mullets.
Look, I have to agree with you. I wonder why when you jump out, out of the gates.
Silly odds here now, though, but geez, in the 4 in at $3.80. He's been a very good move with the boys with the bags. Let's go Trusting. $4 into $3.70, just back to $3.80. Been the best back runner according to Jerry Walsh by a country mile. Stand again.
Comes in between, but the money has come for him here on course. Trusting 4 into $3.80 and
the end of Illustrious Blue coming up. He's in fairly similar colours to Black Piranha. Black Piranha's got a white cap, starts me up, and a check cap. Zara Dancer moving in, and then there'll be 4 left to load. And they're racing. Trusting didn't jump too well. He's back in the 2nd or 3rd last position early on. Strike the Stars began well with Black Piranha, Merger Lisa Lass, and My Kingdom of Fife. And then Zara Dancer, followed by Starts Me Up. Trusting is picking up ground. He's gone up to about 6th on the outside. And then Sacred Choice, followed by Illustrious Blue, Hawk Island, My Lucky Day is back 2nd or 3rd last, out a little bit wide, and Stand Again's behind it. So Merger Lisa Lass worked to the front, but I'm not sure for long. A couple are coming up on the outside to attack it now. And it Starts Me Up going to the lead. on the inside, and on the outside of it is Zara Dancer. So Zara Dancer, in fact, took it up from Starts Me Up, My King number 5 for Merger Lisa Lass. No luck for Trusting. He's out 3 wide on a limb, followed by Black Piranha. Then the 3-year-old Strike the Stars. A length to Sacred Choice, Illustrious Blue, My Lucky Day, Stand Again, and Hawk Island last. 700 out, Zara Dancer on the outside of Starts Me Up. They're jousting for the lead. My King number 5 a length off them third. Trusting going up on the outside to improve even further, followed by Merger Lisa Lass and Black Piranha. Strike the Stars being ridden along, and then Sacred Choice, Illustrious Blue, My Lucky Day ridden along as well. He's about 6 off the lead, then Stand Again and Hawk Island coming to the turn. It Starts Me Up and Zara Dancer with My King number 5. Trusting joining in on the outside. Strike the Stars gets an inside run, but My King number 5 took over. Trusting coming at him on the outside. It's Trusting moving up to My King number 5, and then Strike the Stars on the inside. Trusting poked his head in front. Trusting with the Singapore Superstar on in front. And Trusting wins the Chelmsford. Won it from My Kingdom of 5 in second spot. Third home was the 3-year-old Strike the Stars. Then there's a wall for 4th. Black Piranhas there with Zara Dancer also Starts Me Up. Followed on the
Stakes winners at 3 2 years ago. He returns as a 5-year-old Trusting. But Joe Moreira from Singapore via Brazil takes out the Tattersalls Club Chelmsford Stakes for 2011. My Kingdom of 5. Gee, we're going to see him feature in some of the staying events in the spring. That was a super performance again first up. But Trusting takes...
Neither, but no, Joe managed to get him up, and I'd like to really thank all the team. They've done a good job with this horse.
He's a good horse, though, Trusting on his day.
He is. Look, he's got all the ability in the world. I was only saying to Nathan's sister yesterday, when he goes to start, I'm going to buy a man myself to send to him. You know, he's just a beautiful horse. But, he's very much a stallion.
Going to take plenty of benefit.
Yeah, he's a lovely horse, isn't he? By Tail of the Cat out of a Zabil Eligible. She won a Sandown Classic, and he was sold at the NZB yearling.
From the barriers?
Yeah, he didn't really jump well, so I had to work from there. But once I got on top of the straight, I gave him a clear run. He just flew home to get a very nice win. So I want to say thanks to the owner, to the trainer.
Well, if he didn't win it, he wouldn't have been a Singapore Superstar. Got away with it, 62.7 first thousand, so he can cover ground, he did. This race has got me totally baffled, Rich. I know My Kingdom of 5, good measuring stick, and like him going forward. 3-year-old filly, maiden, potential going on. Trusting hadn't won for 2 years. How do we assess the Chelmsford?
Trusting's a good horse. He looked terrific yesterday. He's got a lot of quirks, but he's a very good horse on his day. I think he'll start. My Kingdom of 5, look, softer than even the majority of Chris Waller's do first up. His run was outstanding. Strike the Stars might be only a maiden, but he's a very good horse. I got no doubt.
Credit to John Thompson. He turned this horse out in magnificent fashion. It wouldn't have been a better turned out horse in Australia than Trusting yesterday, just glowing before the race. But My Kingdom of 5, on the other hand, looked soft, as you pointed out, Richie. So his effort to battle on was quite good. A lot of these horses still dead in the coat. My Lucky Day just hasn't turned in the coat yet. Wasn't a bad run, started to ground home okay, but good effort.
Interesting point on Trusting here. His 3 best runs to my eye, obviously the win yesterday, 3 and 4 wide. He's Epsom second when covered a stack of ground, and his Emirates Stakes close up 1 length 6th or something, covered a stack of ground at Flemington. I wonder if he's just a better horse outside them.
So you got to slaughter him.
Well, it seemed to work yesterday.
He's ridden through.
A stallion prospect for Patnack Trusting. That was an important win for the horse yesterday, and it took champion Singapore rider Joe Moreira to get him to the line.
Yeah, look, maybe that little confidence booster will do him the world of good, because he's been 2 years out of the winner's circle, Trusting. But we all know he's a very, very talented horse who's had excuses throughout his career. I think he should have won an Epsom once. The second horse is going to be a force in the spring, My Kingdom of 5. He was way underdone. He rallied when it counted there. That was a terrific performance, considering the condition he was in. Strike the Stars has stamped himself as a champion stakes type of horse. Could well develop into a VRC Derby horse. I'd suggest he's that type, looking at him. The rest, jury's out. I want to have another look at him.
Joe Moreira, there's no doubt horses run for him. He is an excellent jockey, but that wasn't pretty.
Right.
Yeah, that
He
was
went bush for a while, didn't he?
If he'd have got beaten, punters would have been, and the connections of Trusting would have been screaming. So, they run for him.
Never seen a bad winning ride.
That's true.
It may well have been
It's on the program here at Warwick Farm. The Tattersalls Club Tramway Handicap, a Group 3 over 1,400 metres. And Richie, really the two it is between them in the betting, in Secret Admirer and also Neeson.
Yeah, a hatful of money for Neeson. Bidding $6 only about up, all solid. Now all the way out to $61. Gathering $19, gets back out to its best price at 21. Sincero, been $6, pretty good mover. Christian Reith looking to ride the last two winners.
Race of Y on the Mona Lisa yesterday. Neeson came back very big and looked ordinary in the coat. He trimmed down last. Neeson flew out on the outside, began very fast. Triple Elegance away well. So was Strato Fortress gathering down to the inside with Thank God You're Here and Sincero also picking up some ground. So at the end of 200, Neeson strode across from the wide alley, got over onto the fence easily, and led from Triple Elegance and Syrian and then gathering, followed by Sincero, not all that far away from Strato Fortress, and then Secret Admirer back along the inside from Thank God You're Here. Then Dealer Principal and Parthian Willie Jimmy, followed by Bid Spotter, Red Lord. Just got a slight check at that point, followed by Tullamore, Dealer Principal. At last is All Silent, 750 out. Neeson in front, trying to slow them down in the middle stages. Led from Syrian, gathering going up near the inside. Triple Elegance wider out. Sincero just camped on the back of the leaders, followed by Strato Fortress. Secret Admirer back on the rail. Thank God You're Here is not all that far away and starting to stride into it. And then came Willie Jimmy as they approached the turn. The leader is Neeson. Now started to get away. Led a length on Sincero. Secret Admirer coming off their back, gathering the inside from Triple Elegance. The leader as they run to the 250 is Neeson from Sincero. Thank God You're Here is coming down the outside with Secret Admirer. Sincero took the front. Thank God You're Here and Secret Admirer starting to come strongly. Sincero the leader. Sincero in front. Secret Admirer lunged. Oh, this is close. Secret Admirer put a big lunge in right on the line. It's either Sincero or Secret Admirer, I'm not sure. Thirds of photo as well. I took my eyes off them there. Thank God You're Here was prominent with Strato Fortress, Willie Jimmy, Neeson gathering and Syrian as they cross the lines. So hold on to your tickets for placings, followed by Diamond Cowboy. And then we've got All Silent, followed by Bid Spotter, Parthian.
4-year-olds in the mix for first and second. Spread broke in Brisbane during the winter. Let's see the low angle. Well, she's got ahead there, but look, it does look like Sincero as they get to the line.
The Stradbroke Handicap winners back with a vengeance. Three's the winner. 3 Sincero. Chris O'Brien for Stephen Farley. Beach number 14, Secret Admirer, Corey Brown.
Well, hot race, really hot race here, good form race. Winner excellent, blinkers off, O'Brien back on Sincero, Secret Admirer outstanding, may have won if it was at Randwick, wasn't, so no point talking about that. A heap to talk about here, Rich, but this bloke's a star, isn't he, Sincero?
He's a star. He's an absolute star. There's no doubt about that. I'll tell you what, one thing has done since he's got better. Brendan Abdullah held Graham Begg and Sue Begg's hand the entire mounting out and the entire race. And after the race, he's not letting Corey Brown get too comfortable in that seat. Her run was outstanding. Sincero was super duper. Neeson, I thought, was a shade disappointing, but he'll still go towards the, I imagine, the Epsom.
Yeah, well, I still got a big doubt about him running a mile, though, I've got to say. Winner was fantastic, gave Secret Admirer a lot of weight, and I'm sure that connections of Secret Admirer will be crying out for the big race to be run at Randwick and not 1,500 at Rose Hill.
Cox Plate for sure for the winner. That's his take. I thought Tullamore did enough there.
Yeah, he was Sand, very honest horse, isn't he? But look, thank God, yeah, good effort. Ran third, ran into 2 Group 1 horses, simple as that. Sincero's a superstar, and Secret Admirer, if she doesn't win a Group 1 this prep, I'll go here for Tiggy.
Okay. I don't think I've ever seen that before.
Saddle of Sincero, a nice first up win, blinkers off.
It was Sincero did. Thank God You're Here. Well, he probably goes better at Randwick, but then they all probably go better at Randwick, these horses. I think there's 3 very smart horses, particularly the first 2 over the line, who are going to go on to bigger and better things, I feel sure. But if you had to offer me one, if you had to say take one home, I'd take home the winner.
Oh, why wouldn't you? He's won a Stradbroke.
But he's already won that.
He could be the weight for age horse to come out of that race.
Yep.
Then one we've been waiting for. He could be a Cox Plate horse. That's real form. They saved the best till last there. Second mare's sensational, Secret Admirer. He's got plenty of improvement, Sincero, and I can't wait to follow him as he goes into Melbourne.
Here's the market. This won't take long. For the downhill, Seaboy. Anything else in the race? I'll say the punters. 120, 104, and on Tats, money back. $1 now, and don't need our words to describe him. His deeds on the track, and vouch for that.
Yeah, look, I've been surprised with the guys on track have actually written the bet. I reckon that's what's happened. I think that they've taken care of the $1.20 with the corporates. That all the big punters are on.
And Seat Boy did get a good getaway. Absalon might have got a bit of a check at the start from Grand Britannia, who jumped a bit awkwardly. Seat Boy's up there with a share of the lead early. Unique Quality is coming over from an outside barrier and is running to the lead out wide on the course ahead of Sepoy. And just in behind those horses, Hallowell Bell with the nose roll over on the outside would be in third and fourth placing. And just off these as they make this bunch towards the middle of the track is on the outside is Mr. Milton. Machine is right behind the speed, only 2 or 3 lengths away from the leaders. Tracked up by Absalon and Masthead, one of the last down near the inside. So it's Unique Quality who's doing the work in the early part. Sepoy sitting just behind him, about a half length off second. Grand Britannia close to the inside. Machine's in the clear. Hallowell Bell's caught on down the outside. Unique Quality running a bit of a race at the 300. Sepoy closing on him nearer the inside. And McAvoy sitting pretty quietly now, and Sepoy takes over the running. Masthead getting through on the inside. Hallowell Bell's warming up down the outside. Sepoy's about a length in front. He has to keep going under the whip in the run home, but he'll get there. Sepoy won it from Hallowell Bell by a length. Unique Quality's run a terrific race third. Masthead fourth, and then Machine, Absalon, Grand Britannia, and Mr. Milton last home.
Pretty painless, not brilliant, but good enough. That's all you got to do. Get out there and get the job done. But the time's good. 1:08.71. Karen just showing him the whip there to remind him that you.
I suppose that's the least impressive of his wins of late, Sepoy, but he's still run the time and he's just a good horse.
Yeah, a win's a win, Bruce. Job well.
Yeah, pretty amazing.
Yeah, well, why not? Look, I've got to talk to my team. As I said before, the worst thing about this horse is just, and there's no bad thing about him, believe me, but it's the spacing in the races. That's the problem, because he's such a gross colt that really enjoys his work and have to wait a month.
I could hear someone back on behind me, and sort of expect to give him a few taps just to make him hit the line. And yeah, it was a good effort.
$1.10 and $1 for the hot pot there for Karen McAvoy, Pete Snowden. Hallowell.
Masthead fourth, and then Machine.
He's a star. He's won 7 out of 8. Hard to knock him. Out in 35.73 for him, home in 32.98. Latoria.
Certainly the time's a significant factor here. 18.71 faster than Lone Rock, a Group 1 winner later in the day. They went 0.13 faster first 600. 0.13 faster overall. So that's probably the best line to take.
And I just said plenty. We saw Smart Missile in Sydney last week.
The effort was obviously good, but it just, the first expression with your eyes, you're wondering that, geez, the time was unbelievable.
Well, he sort of just didn't look as dominant.
A good setup, isn't it?
All times and measures. Say he measures up to the older horses to my reckoning. So really excited to see that. Hallowell Bell back to her own 6 over further might be something to bet on.
He's by far the best 3-year-old sprinter, but it's going to be a really good test when he goes to the Manikato. I'm looking forward to it. Thanks for joining us. Well, I just think,
thank you.
Thanks, Karen. As a spring 3-year-old, I don't know that he beats older horses. I mean, as an autumn 3-year-old, I'm sure he'd be right there with them.
You know, the problem with this horse is everyone's comparing him. Look, he's a name on everyone's lips, and we expect so much from him. But we're comparing him. He's not Black Caviar, and nothing will be Black Caviar. She blows opposition away. He's not that dominant. He's dominant, but he's not that dominant. We've got to understand that.
Well, will Cool Grinda go around in the Manikato?
Probably.
And will he beat her?
I wouldn't think so.
I should say.
I wouldn't think she could beat him.
Yeah.
Look, I'm on his.
Here's the market for you via the tote. And Parables for Darley comes up favourite in front of Pinka Moody with 4 in the race. We'll have a chat to.
Goes in. Here's Barinka coming up. Favourite Parables at 3:30 and 160. Pinka. They're racing. Zaire jumped brilliantly down on the inside. Away quickly is Zelsnitz. And Brazilian Pulse got away very quickly. She's driving up to be on the speed as well. Willow Creek with the blinkers on has come away fast, and she's up there and keep the pieces there as well, but she's posted very wide as they settle fully into stride. Midsummer Music gone back the second last. Now Zelsnitz in the middle had the lead. Brazilian Pulse deep, and on the rail Zaire. They're the 3 front runners, 1,000 to go. 2 lengths Willow Creek, Bianca Rose on the inside of Pinka, one away from the fence and keep the piece posted wide. A length and a half further back in the field, Parables. She's 3 deep but does have some cover. Do Re Mi the middle, Venus World the rail, followed by Barinka, Majestic Music. Windara Place on the rails a good way from them, followed then by Melted Lady Lynette, and Midsummer Music brings up the rear. Less than 600 to go. Zelsnitz from Brazilian Pulse, and Willow Creek is 3 wide. The grey Zaire just in behind the front runners and then keep the piece. Pinka trying to push her out of the way. She gets into the clear now. Pinka, then Bianca rows. Down the outside is Do Re Mi, and Parables is out very wide. Right across the track, 300 metres to go. Pinker pounces on the front now. Parables coming on, and Do Re Mi's joining in. Midsummer Music, keep the pace battling on. Pinker the leader. Parables a length and a half away, trying to reel her in. Then Midsummer Music. Pinker going strongly though. Keeps on fighting. Midsummer Music dives. Pinker beat Midsummer Music. Parables third. Lady Lynette got home. Ren fourth. Do Re Mi fifth. Keep the peace, followed in by Venus World. Windera Place being tracked up then by...
Yeah, great ride, good trainer, and
Just 620, 220, 250, 170. The Cupo 28.
a great ride, very consistent mare, and breaks through in the Let's Elope Stakes there for Boss. It's a bad day for D. Done. He had the ride, won the appeal, still couldn't get the ride back. Boss will send something over to you, Dwayne. $7 Maxi Div mid-dance.
I was keen on her yesterday. I thought a terrific first up run. She didn't have hard first up run. She appealed to the outside and beat them. But Midsummer Music, who's in about 56 start this prep, was able to beat her again. So that's a little concern. Sweeper's race here. Bruce, first 5 over the line, came from back in the field, which makes the run of Keep the Peace, who was wide, close to the speed, one of the better runs of the day.
And she went to
Conclusive for me, Mark. Parables, 1200 or 1100 hot speed. She didn't see the 1400 out.
I think all the best runs have been 1200. I think 1400 probably. Look, I backed her yesterday, but now I'm convinced she's a 1200 metre horse.
From Glenn Boss, and she was too strong in the end, and that just franks that good run of hers at her last start first up. So nothing to worry about there. Midsummer Music had to go back, had to look for runs. Flemington at the 1400 is not a great place to be looking for runs. You can run into a lot of dead ends. You can see him there. He's searching for runs, and while she's searching for runs, she's not going forward. So a little unlucky, Midsummer Music. And, Parables just does what Parables does. Who runs a place always looks like it's unlucky, but keeps doing the same thing.
What about the Oaks winner, Brazilian?
Not so sure. Maybe Andrew will have more news on that. Just on the winner. She's a terrific mare. She's on pace, back. She can ride it back, forward, wet or dry. She just ticks every box.
What's wrong at Randwick? Makybe Diva Stakes is our feature race here. Group 2 mile and big field of potential spring players, but not many giving a winning hope here. The big difference to that tote call is Glass Harmonium, $11. It's 6 into 5 here on Group.
At first sight. A bit of white line. Glass Harmonium. The grey about to come up into the stalls. Laturio still out with the favourite Lights of Heaven. Diva racing at Group 2 level. And one of the first to show in the race, Glass Harmonium, began well, and so too did My Bentley as they bounce out of the stalls, and Prince of Mama goes on towards the front as they settle down, and Lights of Heaven is going to posse just off the leading bunch, about 7th or 8th or so. And as they settle fully, Prince Obama has the lead, about a length in front of a Landy now stooled up to go and tackle for the front. They're followed then closely in the field by Harris Tweed going up on the outside into 3rd placing, and Glass Harmonium is prominent as well. Also up there, Midas Touch. 2 lengths further back, My Bentley on the inside of Once for Wild. 2 lengths away then came Lights of Heaven. A length and a half further back, Don Carlos Playing God, and they're being followed then by At First Sight, Master O'Reilly and Guesswing, and Laturio as last. At the 800 metres, Alandy the leader. Harris Tweed is second by a neck. Glass Harmonium deep out third. Prince Obama now fourth over on the inside. Followed closely in the field then by Midas Touch as they're on the swing now. My Bentley just off these, followed by Once for Wild. Lights of Heaven coming up on the outside. She's within about 5 lengths of the leading horses as they're on the swing, and Playing God's back behind her, peeling to the outside. In the straight, Harris Tweed with Glass Harmonium. My Bentley getting the inside run. Down the outside is Lights of Heaven starting to finish off very well, and Playing God's on her outside. They're coming together, these two. Glass Harmonium hit the lead at the 200 metres. Coming home down the outside is Playing God. Lights of Heaven can't reach them for the moment. Glass Harmonium in front of Playing God and Midas Touch. Playing God, Glass Harmonium. Look at Laturio. Laturio flashes home wide out. He's got there. What a comeback. Laturio from Glass Harmonium, Midas Touch and Playing God. Lights of Heaven just off them, followed then by At First Sight. A break through the back in the field of My Bentley, and then came Once for Wild, Prince Obama, Master O'Reilly, and further back in the field was Guestwing, Harris Tweed, Don Carlos, a Landy towards the tail, an extraordinary win.
Craig Williams doesn't get excited much when he wins races, but have a look at him here. Well done to Nigel Blackson. This is one of the great training performances. Laturio off the scene with a suspensory. Good on you, Craig, showing that raw emotion, which
set a prayer and hope you could help us through it. And, mate, what a return.
Story about Mark Barrett, who bred this horse and fought hard against cancer, and he couldn't be here.
He had a long battle, and I'm pleased his wife and the family are all here to enjoy this moment. And special thanks from staff. And
exciting opportunity for Springs open up again for him.
Well, it has. I mean, he's always shown it. I mean, no one gave him a chance, but his previous form as good as any horse in the field. You see him in the mountain yard, he looks magnificent.
I mean, you said on Tuesday morning that you knew he just hadn't lost that competitive edge.
No, his trial a couple of weeks ago was the best he's ever trialled. I mean, he finished second to a pretty quick horse and was really keen, and maybe pushed out, he could have won the trial. But him to try that over 1,800 metres, I knew he was back and going well. I think he could make a Cox Plate horse.
Fantastic, Nigel, and well done to all concerned.
Thanks, Bruce.
$28 in the totes. Let's have a look at those entrants. Your Maxi Diva will be the Tats dividend, $48.20.
Sure was. Great comeback. Horse that cost $15,000. That's all. Yep, we all could have been there. $2.5 million later, and plenty of fun and plenty of grief along the way. But there he is, Latorio. Maxi did 48.20. We'll talk about the beaten brigade. Plenty of great runs and plenty of well, not so sures, but Latorio Gator. I think you got to see and believe and think, well, that's pretty good effort.
Came from last, 50.7 first 800. Looking at the replay, said, well, you can't win on a turn. Gets to the outside, runs over them. Outstanding return. Glass Harmonium was excellent, wide all the way. And we'll get to all those shortly, Bruce.
When you watch it, you were confident, though, weren't you, Nigel, going in that this horse would run well? I'm not sure if you were able to declare it to anyone, but we saw you on Tuesday on Track Work Show that you were pretty confident this would run well.
I was very pleased with what he's shown me the last few months. We trialled a couple of weeks ago. He finished second over 800 metres, and for him to do that.
Obviously, Glass Harmonium, excellent. The Team Williams pair there, Midas touch at first sight, very good. Luke's comments, very frank about the disappointing favourite.
Yeah, look, I'll take Luke's comments on board, obviously, but look, it's in the don't sack category, Lights of Heaven. She had a really soft run first up, remember? Didn't have a hard run. I thought she just peaked about 200 out, so I think she'll come on a lot from that. So certainly I'm not sacking her. The odds were skinny yesterday, but she doesn't know that. You mentioned Lloyd Williams, he would have been wrapped with his two, heading the right way about it. And Glass Harmonium, we've touched on, who covered a stack of ground. And playing God, before the race, they said, we're probably half a run short, so there's still some upside there.
Suppose you can line.
She had a soft run yesterday, Mark, for me.
Yeah, she was disappointing. I think David might have made a relevant point there. She had a bit of a soft run there first up. She came out to win or run a good race, and she just peaked on a run. It is very hard sometimes for these mares, as Luke pointed out. They're very good at 3-year-old fillies racing their own age, and we've got a lot of them at the top of the market this year for the first time. So they've got to step up. Lights of Heaven, Shamrocker, etc. So it'll be interesting the next couple of weeks whether they do measure up.
Problems than the early settlers. He hasn't raced since April last year.
An incredible performance, and Nigel Blackerson, in an interview during the week, had more or less said this horse is be going close to winning. His confidence in this horse was amazing, and he ran accordingly. The question has to be asked, did he show up the weight for age form? And I say yes. I think the weight for age form this season, at this stage, is rubbish.
Can I just add in there? I suspect, and I'm not sure, but I'll check, the first two over the line are the only two who've previously won a weight for age race.
Probably right. And that's what I'm saying. It's rubbish. There's nothing there. And we had a weight for age race in Sydney where a horse that hadn't won for 2 years won the race after sitting 4 deep throughout. And a 3-year-old maiden run third. So at this stage, there's a few up-and-comers.
We're weakening our weight for age depth by sending horses overseas. I mean, So You Think would be there this year in Australia, and we'd be saying what a great weight for age horse he is. But
good runs in the race. Glass Ammonium, wide no cover all the way.
Excellent run.
Midas Touch was okay. I love that first sight. I think he could be the one to follow out of that race.
Field in the Underwood. Don't drop off Lights of Heaven, according to Peter Moody. He hasn't put the blinkers on the Zabeel yet, and he certainly feels the horse needed another run yesterday. And Glass Harmonium could also head towards either the Caulfield Cup or the Cox Plate. There's a bit to come out of the Underwood when we get there in a fortnight's time, Joe.
Lights of Heaven, and said that the horse would be better off going back to a handicap, and that may be the case now for punters looking in the doubles. Look towards the Caulfield Cup first, perhaps. There's the market for the Bobby Lewis quality Bill Sprinter.
Interesting one at a bit of value here. Our sporting bet market mover is number 3, Aloha. Has been very well tried, and your interview was quite with Mick Price, and most of us would have thought he'd be learning the double ante, but he went for Aloha.
Open racing now. Bellsprinter Yosei got away well, and so did Defenders and Dan's Item, and Elusive Touch, one of the first to break from the middle of the line. Aloha seemed to get away well. Turaktoff goes back in the early stages. Double Annie was prominent. Feeling Ready was up there. Temple of Boom was showing speed as well. Doubtful Jack not far away, wide out. So they come down towards the 800-metre mark now. And Elusive Touch out very wide on the course is up there, one of the leaders. Bell Sprinter up the middle of the track with Temple of Boom is showing prominently. Double Annie just inside of them. Feeling Ready over on the far side, tracked up by Turaktoff. Doubtful Jack is the widest runner. Gold Salute's on his back as they come down towards the 400-metre mark. Yosei towards the end. Eagle Falls is a fair way back. Bell Sprinter sharing the lead, coming down to the 300 metres from Temple of Boom. Double Annie, Feeling Ready over on the far side. Turaktoff putting in a run. Then Happy Trails down the outside. Elusive Touch followed by Dan Xylem, who's starting to finish off. It's Bell Sprinter in front from Feeling Ready. Double Annie, Elusive Touch, Dan Xylem. Bell Sprinter, he's still in front of Feeling Ready. Turaktoff diving through on the inside. Lone Rock flashes wide. Oh, boy, got there. Lone Rock. Very wide. A long stride from Bell Sprinter. Feeling Ready, Turaktoff up there for Miners. Dan's on them. Happy Trails, Double Annie just off them. Temple of Boom, Yosei, Offenders, Eagle Falls, and then Elusive Touch and Aloha. American Crew, Doubtful Jack and last stride.
That's where it counts. Lone Rock. This is a massive footy shaping up here today. Looked home, didn't the Bell Sprinter, betting in the run, quickened off, a bit keen in running again, but quickened up, had them all at the sword, and then diving late, the Group 1 Lone Rock in the last stride.
Top up there for Miners. Dan's
I've got there in the last stride. Sure did. Lone Rock to nail the feat for the first time for Bell Sprinter. Big Maxi Div there for a Group 1 winner, back to a Group 3, but I reckon the Group 3 yesterday was better than the Group 1 in Adelaide, the Goodwood.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that. I heard yesterday I was having a bit of a go at you on the text, Bruce, but in that Group 1 in Adelaide, Crystal Lily was second, Pinwheel third, Response was seventh, and Hortensia was 10th. So it was hardly a hacks race over in Adelaide. But I take
Direct offers last, and he came well yesterday.
He did. Look, there are a stack of good runs in there. So the stack of them ridden upside down. So that makes me a little wary about the form. They looked not a lot of speed on paper. So I think a lot of them were probably ridden out of their comfort zone, including Temple of Boom, Double Annie. These sort of horses probably a bit closer to speed than what they used to.
I suppose, yeah.
Winning their Lone Rock back into the winner's circle, catching a few by surprise after what was a pretty average performance first up at the Valley.
Yeah, well, that explains itself, that Mooney Valley track that day. She was wide there and she was beaten 7 lengths, so it's a dead set total forgive. Anything that covered ground that day, you can be forgiving of. She's a dainty little mare, but she's a ripping mare. She's a Goodwood winner. She does a good job here with a lethal sprint. Bell Sprinter's come a long way in a short time. The other horse I want to just keep tabs on there is Happy Trails. When he gets in something a little easier, maybe at 1400 or a mile, I want to be on him.
Bell Sprinter's got to learn to drop the bit.
Yeah, he does.
He makes it tough for himself by wanting to be there all the time, and it will, the higher the grade, the more that brings you undone. So I'm sure he will learn, but as you say, he's come a long way in a short time. Dan Xylem ran on enormously.
The race of his life.
I think that trifecta paid, what, 13,000? Odd. A fantastic trifecta. But, yeah, second, the next level down from the absolute top sprinters, these horses, but really competitive racing. Really competitive.
Well, this horse.
I mean, for the last race of the day and a short price favourite, and that is the December draw on the tote, $2.30, but odds on here on course. We'll show the something here. They backed it again. 185 and $1.80. Key 2,000 metres Flemington.
That's it. First up, when we saw him in May, he won here at Flemington, but only just won. And then he absolutely walked in here over 2,000. Now, I reckon that run
up here, December draw. Certainly take on. Well, a lot of these horses are going to improve in them too, anyway, because they've got greater tasks to come. I suppose he's going to be wound right down closer to the naturalism, which gets him a run into the Caulfield Cup December tour. But that being the case, and you're not that far off your mark, are you?
No, you would think that if he's going to figure in those races, he'll be winning this.
Dolphin Racing, December draw, getting a good jump away. My Scots Grey a bit slow. Tara Man goes back in the early part. And away quickly there is Light Vision. My Colada's up there. And Bright Horizon is going on trying to find the lead. Amber Grey came across with him. And it's Bright Horizon leading from Amber Grey. My Colada's trying to push through on the inside, keeping Amber Grey working. There followed White Horizon settling down, or White University settling down just off them, and Light Vision on his outside. And then came December Draw. Well, the odds-on favourite lobs into a very nice trailing position over on neck away the outside. 2 lengths to Zagreb, being followed by Tara Man, and then My Scots Grey starting to make some ground from the tail, and that left Laristan at the end. So Amber Grey's lead has been whittled away very quickly, and Dark Note went around the outside and took up the running at the 600 metres now. They're being followed by December Draw, poised for his run. Light Vision just inside him, and then Lekedro. Module pulls out, and My Scots Grey's made up ground the widest. Tara Man is trying to get onto his back. Dark Note, the leader from Amber Grey, but December Draw claimed them at the 400, and he's hit the front. Getting up on the inside, White Universe running on. Lekedro is there, and My Scots Grey was wider out, and Green Moon gets over heels, but December Draw shot away. 200 to go by 3, Lekedro, White Universe, and then came Green Moon and Laristan, but December Draw is going to stand up at Flemington. Unbeaten here. December Draw comes right away, won it by 4. One of the best wins of the day. Green Moon second, White Universe third. My Scots Grey ran fourth, then Laristan, Lekedro, Zagreb, Dark Note, Tara Man, followed by...
Right, just not ideal for him, getting him off balance like that.
A conservative pre-race coming out of it now with a nice soft win like that. You're obviously pretty upbeat about where he's heading and how he's ticking over.
Yep. I love go to work and sort of smiling to yourself and seeing how he's doing and that. But he's pretty exciting. I mean, G4 runs in Australia now for 3 wins and a second when he was underdone. And he likes Flemington, so we're on our way there.
Yeah, got to get there for...
Grey ran fourth.
Unbeaten at Flemington. Star for mine will show the Cups markets and where he sits, even though he's not qualified. The Maxi Diva, beautiful tats, thank you. $2.10 there. Another one for Richard Perkins' squad. December Draw. Green Moon, part of the team of Lloyd Williams. Just sense of starting to work these horses out, as Nick Hall alluded to in the beaten jockeys. Very good, but they were in a different race. He got into the zone and crushed them.
He's second up too. Stack of upside in him. We saw what Mark Kavanagh
doubt about that. I love his acceleration. He travels up, and when Michael pushes the button, he quickens like a 7 furlong horse. Super.
Well, look, he's got Flemington form. That's the big thing, isn't it? That's where the big race is, and he's won there 3 times now, so he's on the improve.
Let's have a look at the Caulfield Cup market. You can get your teeth into this guy because the weight...
Tuesday in November, he goes to the Naturalism Stakes next. That's a winner, gains an automatic start in the Caulfield Cup. So that's how they attempt to get there. But Mark Kavanagh said to me this morning he was thrilled just the way the horse extended because he's still not 100% fit. TAB Sportsbet have got a market open on the Caulfield Cup, and I stress December Draw still not guaranteed to start. He has to win the Naturalism. Scarlet $1 chance, but not there yet. My Kingdom of Fife at 16. But Ron, you are wrapped with the win of December Draw.
Love that horse. I hope he wins the Naturalism and qualifies himself for the Caulfield Cup because I think he'll nearly win it. Mark Kavanagh's been trying to talk this horse down. It's not working, Mark. It's not working. He's a good horse.
Yeah, well, you agree with that. Andrew, if you could just, before we leave...
Great buck. You can get your teeth into this guy because the weights are out here, and you know what's probably going to be heading around here. Well, December Draw's got to win the Naturalism to qualify here, but Scarlet Lady, Lights of Heaven, top of the markets here. I suppose Glass Harmonium, still a decision to be made whether handicap or Cox Plate. Pretty similar lineup here. Pinker, the Cox Plate, and Latorio heading that way, as Nigel suggests. Here's the Cox Plate market with Hoobie at $7. How much are rapidly typically reacted to December Draw. This is the Melbourne Cup market. We'll look at the others shortly, which Gay wants to have a bet with. Now, Sporting Better got him favourite. Of course, he's got a way to go to get there. December Draw at $12. Precedence at 25 to 1. Absolutely brilliant first up. Midas Touch, a good shortener. There'll be a few of these for Lloyd shortening up, as did our first market. We'll look at the others shortly, which Gay wants to have a bet with. Now, Sporting Better got him favourite. Of course, he's got a way to go to get there. December Draw at $12. Precedence at 25 to 1. Absolutely brilliant first up. Midas Touch, a good shortener. There'll be a few of these for Lloyd shortening up, as did our first